You want a piece of me, boy?
Nuclear launch detected.
Hello and welcome everyone to the Starcraft 2 Nation Wars. First of all, Happy New Year to you all and thank you for watching it. Alongside me is Johan, Todd, Merlot, my good old friend, joining us to the casting desk. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great. It's a pleasure to be back. Unfortunately, Apollo didn't make this one, so the nostalgia is not going to be completely restored. And yeah, it's a real nice tournament that I think we had last time. France was victorious. Mm-hmm. It's going to be much harder this time around to do as well, but I'm hopeful, and yeah, we got a lot of good games inside, starting with these two countries facing off.
Yeah, there will be Finland versus Germany coming up, but first of all, we would like to come back a little bit about what happened just before the break, because most of you guys maybe don't know yet, but the first group has been played before the Christmas break, the holiday break, and that was quite a group to be honest. The group USA actually took place, and it was a really scary one because of all the teams that were there, and basically with guys with the level of need, for instance, for America, and Bly on the opposite side.
Well.
Huh?
Nathanias,
obviously. Talk to us a little bit about the group. What did you think about all those results?
It was quite crazy to see most countries being carried by mostly one player. You know, like this, I guess it's the advantages in a way of the format where if you have one really strong player in your country, he can't take you all the way. That was the case for France last time. But yeah, I was very impressed with, obviously, Snoot, Bly, and Nib were the guys in particular that I think did very well. Sadly for Bly, he went out here with Ukraine as Nib was able to do well enough against Ukraine in the rematch.
Mm-hmm. That was a really tough loss indeed for Ukraine, just losing on the edge 4-3 against USA in the losers match. So Norway and USA are our first countries qualified for the round of 8. But as you mentioned, Ukraine, Bly was on fire, definitely carrying his team super hard. Same goes for Nib, but also for Snoot, as you mentioned. Snoot and Norway in general just having a really cool relationship with Nation Wars, winning first season and second season of Nation Wars, and now making it to the round of 8.
And it was nice to see Australia as well score a couple of maps against Norway, because like you never want to see somebody be like 0-4 and it's like, why did they even make it this far and stuff. It was very competitive. So here's 2 days group with Germany against Finland and then Netherlands against Taiwan. Very stacked. Like if you look at all these lineups, it's a lot of good players across the board. Germany having Showtime, TLO and Hero Marine. Lambo's a sub. And Kung Fu Panda is not even like in the lineup at all. That's how crazy, like how deep the lineup of Germany is.
Is too stacked. You can be Kung Fu Panda and not be in the team, not even as a sub. That's a really good showing of how good Germany can be. And in my opinion, we called it Group Germany because they are the top seed of the group. But we could have called that group of death, to be honest. Like it is to me the most stacked group. You've got Netherlands, you've got Germany, and even Taiwan. Like we don't talk about them quite a lot, but there's the ass effect, right?
Yeah, and they're a cheesy bunch actually. Like I was just in Korea for 3 weeks. I played all of them on ladder, like their main lineup here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they cheese a lot. All of them. Like Cell as well, Nice as well.
And I know you love being cheesed all the time,
right? It's my favorite thing. Especially when I lose every single time. Yeah. I was in a great mood.
And not even talking about Finland, who also has a really great lineup, did super well in Nation Wars 3. Serral, Wellmu, and Zhuge super great players, able to do super well. I mean, Wellmu has always been that kind of player that can almost beat anybody. Serral apparently is the only player who is over 7,000 MMR at the moment on the ladder, so super active. Because that was the question I was wondering too.
Yeah, last Nation Wars as well. He had a great showing, almost single-handedly beats South Korea. That was crazy, and he seems to really deliver in this tournament pretty much every single time. So maybe we get another Zhuge ceremony here. Who knows?
Yeah,
hopefully not.
I hope we will. Well, at least, properly framed so we can see all of it because that was the main issue last year. So we talked about that first group USA, but we actually have a little bit of the thoughts of the casters that casted those games. So I guess we can go to that video. Go. All right, first game of the day was USA against Australia. Last time USA didn't do too well, right?
Right. Et au final, c'était le match rassurant. Nib, il nous a fait peur sur les qualifiers, il nous a fait peur sur la première journée. Et là, il a all kill, mais on monte en puissance. Plus ça allait au sein des games, plus en fait il écrasait ses adversaires. Donc on a retrouvé le Nîmes de la caisse pack-up, ou presque.
Un massacre. Fallait pas cligner des yeux dans ce BO7. C'est allé très vite. C'est en moins d'une heure. Les Australiens qui se sont fait ramasser la gueule.
Récapitulatif, c'était pas si dur que ça. Hein. Nib, c'est moi. Australie, c'est ça.
Dernier match de la soirée, Ukraine-États-Unis. Le match décisif de ce groupe A des Nation War 4 a tenu toutes ses promesses, c'est-à-dire on était jusqu'au 7 map, on a eu notre BO3, Nib contre Bly et surtout Nathanias Power, les Battle Cruisers.
Neeb got off a great start, winning all 3 games pretty convincingly, but then he lost against Bly, and Bly evened up the entire Nation War. It was 3-3. Nathanias against Bly was awesome. I think Nate had a great build, loved the beasties.
J'ai trop kiffé la game. Bly contre Nathanias, un duel de cheeser, un duel de filou.
I love Bly. I love his style of play. It would have been cool to see him go out or win as well, but I'm super happy to have my country advance in Nation Wars.
USA made it out in the end against Bly, and obviously Zombie Grub was quite happy. She will have the pleasure of casting her own country, trying to make it to the live finals, to be in Paris for the round of 4.
But the question still remains: will Nathanias win a map?
That's the question. He could be the Stefano of Nation Wars 4. Maybe making a lot of money, getting a free trip to Paris, even though he never wants to come here, because we did ask him in the past. But he will maybe be in Paris if he makes it to the round of 4. That would be cool. That would be so funny.
Yeah. Like, I bet Nathanias wakes up like after a sick dream, you know, in the morning. He's like, "Yes, we just won Nation War. Thanks, Neeb." But not yet.
No,
not yet. He still has a chance to win some maps here and there. Some of his games were decently competitive.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, that one game against Bly on Habitation Station in particular, like, we watched it with a huge party at Artosis' Christmas party, and we were all wondering the same thing. What went wrong? Because
what went wrong?
It was a 6 start.
You killed a bunch of drones. You put on a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Built I think last game they played between each other. That's the one where you use that battle cruiser strategy.
On Vanny, yeah.
Like, he could have had a better result if the battle cruiser just instantly blinked or TP'd on the Spire. It could have done super well. And then even after that, I think he was in a decent spot, but mostly maybe pressure got to him, like just lost a little bit, and you could actually tell because he was actually building like 99 SCVs, and that's something when you are a little scared, you go back to the fundamentals, like, I need to build SCVs. Dude, you already have like 85, you should stop. But as you mentioned, he has, I guess, what it takes to take a map, and I hope that he does for Team USA, who made it to the round of 8 as well as Finland. But for today, we have Group Germany. So let's go back to the asset of Group Germany just a little bit so we can tell you about those first opening matches. We will be doing the first and second match, opening matches, and then the winners match. So we qualify one team today, Todd.
Yeah, I guess good for whoever does, but then the rest of the teams will have to play tomorrow in our last 2 matches, the losers one and then the decider, to try and find out who a second team through will be. Actually, looking at this group, this really feels like it could be anybody from there. It's very hard to make a prediction. Yeah. Like, obviously, Germany is very, very strong. And then maybe Netherlands, like I think most people would agree, are like the 2 that might be favorites there. But Finland, you should never sleep on these guys.
Exactly.
And Taiwan, man. Kaila is somewhere. He's watching.
He's already giggling.
He's getting ready for these Has games.
Yeah.
And all the madness that might happen.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of agree with you. Germany, Netherlands being the favorites in my opinion, but because of form, just because of true for Netherlands having a lot of tournaments for their players with Hostem and Uthermal winning quite a bit this year. Germany just because of like the story of their player in general and how well Showtime played this year, even to a slight extent Hero Marine that did pretty well towards the end of the year, making it to a round of 4. And then you said Taiwan, X Factor, player you don't really know a lot about, really, really strong in best of 1 situations because of their cheesy strategy in general. So, lineup for Deutschland, Germany, the EU. What do we think about that? Yeah, I mean, like, no surprise, I would say, right? The top 3 here, obviously, there's also Lambo and Kung Fu Panda that are very good from Germany, but TLO, Hero Marine, and Showtime, this is like a superstar lineups, I guess, of the country, one of each race as well. Very strong all around. Showtime probably going to be the best player. TLO, I have to say,
I don't want to sound like I'm hating or something, but maybe I am a little bit. But he hasn't had the best of results in those nation wars. I remember the one where he lost to Desro, and then Canada qualified instead of Germany, and then also
Nation Wars 3, right?
Was it the one? The last one, I think he also kind of disappointed, but against somebody else maybe. I don't remember exactly. I'm not Roddy. We need the encyclopedia of Starcraft, aka Roddy.
As we can see, his best results in Nation Wars was the top 4 that they got in Nation Wars 1, but it was on a smaller scale. There weren't that many teams, so I guess the result doesn't speak that much. And then, to be honest, Nation Wars 2, round of 16, not as good as you would expect from Germany, and especially Nation Wars 3. They had the lineup, they had what they needed to make it a little bit further, but top 12 seems like a little bit of a disappointment again. So, what could we say about Germany? Just finally able to rise to the top, get the result that they need, the result that they deserve?
Absolutely. I think here they should be getting a top 8. They're supposed to make it out of these groups, but of this one group here, but like I said, they've disappointed a little bit at times, so hopefully they can do better this time around. And they've had some time to practice. They know who they were going to face as well, so they can really brainstorm these matchups. And if obviously they're going to be taking it very seriously. This is an important tournament that a lot of people are watching, so hopefully they can really deliver this time around.
I truly believe they have what it takes to make it out of the group. Depends on how good they are today, how on form they are, and I guess that question remains for Hero Marine, because we don't know really that much about him these days. Is he practicing 24/7? Is he because last time he was in vacation and actually practiced round of 4. Instantly, got crushed in the semifinals, but still made it to the round of 4, which was unexpected. So we'll see. Their opponents, Finland, we talked about them, but let's meet them. Walmu, Serral, Zhuge. I think it's a really sexy lineup, just in general. Thinking about the players what they represent in general. Walmu, captain, is he the oldest? Yes, he's the oldest in the team, and also a tremendous experience in general. He's been here forever.
Absolutely. To be honest, all of them kind of have, Zhuge Liang and Serral kind of as well. Like I said, Serral is one of the men on fire usually in those Nation Wars tournaments. It's one of the tournaments I think he performs the best in. And this goes to show they got a top 4 in the last one, as opposed to Germany that we just saw that struggled a lot more. So far, Finland, historically, in Nation Wars has done a lot better. You should not sleep on any of these guys here, Even Zhuge Liang, actually, I sent as a sniper out there. I wouldn't particularly favor him against anybody from Germany in one of these maps. But if he's able, to throw in some good builds, some one-time thing. Remember, it's best of 1 at the end of the day in all of those maps here between these players.
Yeah, exactly. You have a chance to shine. You've got an opportunity to make it great for your team instantly. If you get that one win, just to start it off or finish it off. If you're the last player coming in, and I remember Zhuge Liang last year, making it happen, taking the win against Stefano, for instance, and getting those results going for him. So not a team.
Everybody won against Stefano. So.
Yeah, well, it's not that impressive when you put it that way. But no, just one win can sometimes be enough to just put your team in a better situation. So totally a match that will be really, really hard to predict, in my opinion. We'll see. If Germany performs to his right level, I would give it to Germany. But as you mentioned, never count out Finland, because especially Serral. I want to see Serral play. How good is he? Because Nation Wars 3, he was the player after qualifiers and group stage that impressed me the most. Consistently doing some great strategies, getting to late game, super amazing control. The Roach Ravager composition, he had that super fast. It was the beginning of Legacy of the Void, if you guys remember. Nation Wars 3 was just after the release, so really an interesting player during Nation Wars 3. Supposed to be super good in ladder these days, so might be the heavy hitter that they need.
Yeah, I talked about him. I remember in the last Nation Wars as well as a player, who already kind of showed a lot of good potential in ladder, but in tournaments maybe who hadn't done as much yet. But I don't think I expected him to play that well though. But even back then, especially the performance against South Korea, I was oh amazing. My god, what is going on? This guy, just he beats Innovation once,
he did.
And he just did really well altogether. So if he plays similarly here, he might be able to all kill, do very well, and send his country into the top 8.
Yeah, well,
that's very possible.
It is totally possible. They will still have one game to play, obviously, even if they win the first one. Once again, this is a GSL-style group stage with double elimination. 2 teams will make it to the round of 8. We will have an interview with the team captains in a few minutes, but we can keep talking about this upcoming match. Who would you... Okay, we will actually toss a little in a few seconds.
I would say it really depends the way you're looking at it. If Finland wants to try and pick better maps later, maybe they can send Zhuge first. But usually a lot of teams, they rely on their best players and they send them first. So maybe like a Cyril Showtime to his kind of
that would be
pretty
sick.
But what man can dream.
That would be sick. We actually will know about that in a few seconds because we will throw to the interview with the team captains and we will know who will be starting for each country. Roddy, take it away.
Thank you guys so much. Happy New Year to you guys as well. Of course, at the desk, I'm here joined by my good friend. I mostly know from the letter, but also in real life. How are you doing, Yogo?
Good. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year, my dear Roddy. How are you?
I'm excited, man. I'm ready to continue this. I must say it was a great little pre-show, but
yeah.
I think I've heard the word Netherlands like twice, and other than that, they were only talking about Germany and Finland, so I'm a little disappointed in the boys, but don't worry, I'll be talking about Netherlands plenty for the rest of the show. But I think this is going to be a really good opening match.
Yes, and we will have to speak about Finland because they beat Germany last time.
Yeah.
They won. Germany won the first set, but in the deciding match, they lost on each time for only 1 point, so it will be a close match.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be very close, especially now that apparently Cyril is red hot again. So I can't wait to hear from the captains. I assume it's going to be Welmu and Dr. Dario joining me on Skype in a little
hey guys
call.
Oh, hello. Hey.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Yeah.
Really pumped for this match because we had last year we had a really close match for your country. Welmu first, do you think you can beat Germany again?
Yeah, I think we have a good chance. I think people might underestimate Finland a little bit, but I think we have a very strong team, so I think we have a good chance.
Yeah, I wanted to speak about a strong team because you are maybe the only 2 teams that have exactly the same player from last time. Do you think you have a stronger team now, Welmu?
Yeah, I think it's stronger than last year that we had. I think all the players are bit better now than back then, so I think we should do even better than last year a little bit.
Okay. All right, Dario, what do you have to say about it? The team that beat you last year is apparently even stronger now.
Well, they might be a little bit stronger, but I think our team is way stronger, mainly because of the Wunderwaffe Showtime that is just so strong nowadays compared to only a year ago, I think. So we should be fine. I would expect us to beat Finland.
All right. So you're looking at this group overall. How excited would you be as a real proud German to have a potential Germany versus the Netherlands?
Oh, yeah, that's the dream, of course. I mean, we love you guys, and I know you love us, but we have to put some of our hate into, sports and games nowadays to, compensate. So I would love to beat the Netherlands.
All right, and last question to you, Dario. Overall, you already said that 2017, this is going to be a really big year for you personally. You really want to step up your results, you want to perform. Do you look at Nation Wars as your first opportunity to shine and maybe show people what they can expect of you in 2017?
Oh, yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like, I take any event that I can play in, and I want to show my best, of course. And it's amazing that we can just start off the year on the 2nd of January already with some 6 Starcraft.
So it will be a close match. Even after winning, do you think you can maybe do some all-kill? Because on the first part of this Nation War, we saw mostly all-kill, one-man army. Do you think you can do it all-kill, or maybe Showtime or Euro Marine? Or do you think it will be just a close match? Hey, guys.
I mean, hello. I'm most scared about Cyril. He's been at the top of the EU ladder for a long time, so I think all-kill will be hard for us. I can lose to Welmu. I should beat Sugar. It can happen, but I don't think it's going to be an all kill in either direction.
Okay.
All right, so I'd say let's get this party started. I'm ready to kick off 2017 with some StarCraft. It feels like it's been ages ago since I saw anything or casted anything. So let's start off with you, Dario. Who's going to be the first player of Germany?
That'll be me, actually.
Oh. All right. Welmo, who's going to be the first player of Finland?
It's going to be our ace player, Sugelian.
Yeah. And let's remind us that it was the 2 starting players for the last 2 matches. It's 1-1 between Tielo and Zugaliang, so best of 3 now.
All right.
The best of 3 that lasted 1 year and a little bit. All right, guys, I'm very excited for it. Good luck, of course, in this match. A little less good luck against the Netherlands, but I'm sure you guys will be fine.
Yeah, Netherlands can take the second spot.
What did he say? That we suck at Starcraft too? Okay. He said that we can take second place. I couldn't hear it because it switched off. All right, I think they're ready.
I'm so hyped. I want to see this kind of best of 3, even if you said it was like 1 year. We had like a big best of 3 1 week ago between Blai and Snut, and it was just excellent.
Yeah, for the people who don't know, nationwide season through, Germany and Finland played against each other twice. The score was 4-3 twice. You said it was 1-1. I actually thought Finland won both. I thought it was 4-3 for Finland twice. But maybe it was 4-3, 3-4. Either way, in both nationwides, the starting players were TLO versus Zugaliang, and they both won 1 match. So this is the conclusion of that epic best of 3.
Let's enjoy this.
Yeah, let's go. Take it away to the desk, boys.
Thank you so much, Roddy and Yogo. Indeed, a really cool interview from those guys. And as you mentioned, a 1 year long best of 3 within two editions of the same tournament between Zugaliang and TLO will be the starting players.
Yeah, and like I said, TLO in the past in Nation Wars, I remember this one time he lost to Desro, and then he lost to Zugaliang as well, which... If you're a player of the caliber of TLO, I don't think should be happening all that often, especially not in a tournament like this when it's a best of 1. Your country is relying on you, and in the end, the second time around, Finland won 4-3 against Germany, so you don't want that to happen again. And today he's going to have to deliver here if he wants to give a better chance for his country to advance on to the next round.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, the first game can quite decide like the beginning of all that best of 7. You get that first win, you secure a win for your team. You're not going to get 4-0'd instantly, so that's already something going for you. But also you will have that opportunity to just eat up a little bit and be comfortable. And there's that kind of stuff that happens a lot with these all kill format, is that you can tell that this player is getting better and better every single game. He's getting in the zone, feeling more comfortable.
Unless you're friends. And then there's only one guy winning maps, mostly.
Yeah, exactly. But you always give him the first, so he can heat up instantly, and then Marine Law takes it all. But that's what happened last year. We'll see if something close happened this year. But for now, we would like you to be, as active as you can on Twitter. That was the word I was looking for. Hashtag NW4, but especially vote for the country you think is going to win. So if you think that Germany will take it, we will use hashtag DEUWin, Deutschland, DEU, or Finland, hashtag FINWin, and we will be monitoring those numbers throughout the night and, see if the community was wrong. Was wrong or right, actually. Sorry?
Who do you think is going to win?
Well, we'll see because we have the predictions, but I did say you. Germany 4-2. I think that's what I said.
You're going for the basic bitch prediction.
Yeah, you're not getting any of this. What did you predict?
I predicted Germany, but...
How much?
I think 4-2.
So you're giving me this, even though you actually did exactly the same thing?
No, but that's because I do funny/crazy predictions a lot of the time. What did you predict for the second match?
Good question. I can't remember.
Probably Netherlands, right?
Roddy thinks Finland will take it 4-3. And I think that's
that's a decent... Respect to Roddy.
Respect
to Roddy. Going for it.
So no respect for the both of us. The Frenchies are...
For the second match, you will respect me.
Okay.
Because I predicted 4-0 Taiwan.
If that happens, it makes you feel like a god. Well, to be honest, last year, you guys probably didn't know that because you didn't watch the French stream. But Ponf predicted France 5-0 against Korea in the finals, and it happened. So some stuff will happen. First map.
And he wasn't even watching the games.
No, he was playing Clash Royale on his mobile phone. No, just kidding. First game will be Habitation Station in a ZVZ. Really aggressive map, not too long rush distances, but also you will get the scout earlier. So, pretty decent map, I would say. Gold
Show me those roaches.
You want some roaches, Todd?
Yeah.
You love them roaches?
Maybe we won't even see them. Maybe it's just Zergling Bane. Who knows? Nah, we'll probably see some roaches.
Of course.
And like I said, TLO here really important. He needs to deliver. Whereas I like the choice of sending out Zhuge here from Finland because, like I said, you can send him out as a sniper. They probably knew the map for a while and he extra practiced on it. Brainstorm probably anticipated he was going to play TLO. Yeah. So if he's been playing custom games, ZVZ has a special build in store here or a very specific plan, might be able to do well.
Now, actually, already in the first game of those Nation Wars in 2017. Thank you so much for being here. Be active on Twitter and enjoy the games. In the top left, for Germany, is the Wunderwunsch, the little one.
The Wunderwunsch.
The Wunderwunsch.
The Meisterschaft.
Meisterschaft Wunderwunsch.
And his opponent, playing as the Blue Zerg, it's of course from Finland, Zhuge Liang.
The master of ceremony. Did a great one last year. I actually wish that he will win this game so we can see more of it. He did say on Twitter that he would do it again in Nation Wars 4 if he got the chance. So really looking forward to those games. Thanks again to Blizzard for helping this tournament be a reality. It's really a blast to be working alongside you guys.
Blizzard are the best, aren't they?
Huh?
Blizzard are the best.
They are.
Aren't they?
They are. Thank you so much, guys.
They make the best game on Earth.
Well, in terms of RTS, they're pretty much bulletproof. That's for sure. I love their RTS. So in terms of build orders, obviously we are both ZVZ experts. That's the moment we actually wish Drogo was here. Where is Drogo? Drogo is actually practicing like a madman to be able to win Nation Wars 4 on his own. So we'll leave him be. No problem. Quick Lair from TLO, our red player here. Both went for the Hatchcast pool build. Nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy.
It's fairly easy to roll off here, so I like this choice there, especially, it's the Wunderwunsch, right? Mr. Creative. So at the end of the day, if he wants to, go for some crazy Spire or a risky, maybe a little bit of a riskier earlier tech, I can't really blame him for it. I think he's going to be able to scout that lair, yeah. Which is made on the natural here by Zhuge Liang, being a lot greedier, actually, delaying his Evo, his Roach Warrior, and his Lair a little bit more than TLO, who's going to be starting a +1 missile upgrade way earlier than Zhuge Liang.
Yeah, without that much information too. Zhuge Liang a little bit in the dark here, and as you mentioned, being able to play it a little bit greedy and having a little bit of an advantage for a moment in terms of the drone count. Now falling behind, but it will stay close as long as possible. Slightly low, later Lair. And we have some sound issues, as you can see, because we can't hear anything again. Well, I don't really know why.
You know why? Because we're gonna do sound effects ourselves.
All right. That was the Zergling noise from Brood War. You guys,
that was
you guys
really
got
good, actually.
So 5 more drones about to hatch for Zhuge Liang. So no shenanigans, no fake roach technology into Spire or anything. Both players will go for some roaches, and I know some people from down under that are actually super happy with it. Roaches. Piggy boy.
He's literally got his hand down his trousers right now watching this game.
Okay, getting the goal from both sides. Okay, so this is the greediest of the greediest. Don't be fooled. Those are both roaches that you can see in the production tab. One is the new roach with the super cute skin. The other round are the old roaches.
I really like what Zhuge Liang's doing with dropping the creep between his natural and gold base there to make some sort of highway there where he's going to be able to, I guess, rejoin that position with his roaches a little bit faster, maybe creep spread as well a little bit faster. And so, to be honest, TLO so far, production-wise, remember, he got everything just a little bit earlier than Zhuge Liang. He's ahead on the drone count, he's ahead in supply. He's definitely hitting his injects a little bit better. And going into this match, I would say that TLO is probably the more solid player overall, and I feel like Zhuge Liang's the one who might have to do something special. They're kind of clashing in the middle of the map here. This is a silly fight with just a couple roaches against roaches.
Nice targeting from Zhuge Liang, getting that low HP
He doesn't have speed yet, so that's why he's going to lose a few more.
He's actually getting chased. Nice micro from TLO, pulling back the weaker roaches and getting the low HP roach from Zhuge Liang. In terms of army supply, super close, 46 to 50. The nice drone translation from the natural to the third base. Overlord's creep spread, as you mentioned, is going to be key in defending this attack. But there's actually a lot of roaches from TLO, and I don't really know that Zhuge Liang can fight here. He doesn't want to, but he will try to make that concave happen. That queen actually helping out. And first phase of the fight actually went pretty well for Zhuge Liang.
He's able to reinforce faster, so TLO does the right move. He starts +2. He's I feel like he might be overdroning a little bit. He was already a whole couple drones ahead, and now he's getting a few more. It's only 2, but if Zhuge from there doesn't miss an inject and only makes roaches, he might be able to get more than TLO. So really needs to be careful here. TLO needs to make, I think, only units for now, because that's what Zhuge doing, and I'm pretty sure he's going to want to fight here very soon.
Exactly. Not even investing in the +2. Like, there is no future for Zhuge. He wants to produce. He goes all punk on this one and just going to produce a lot of units and going to try to end it here. 9 roaches in the production time against 4. You can see that those investments towards the future from TLO actually, preventing him to produce a lot of roaches. 38 to 32 at the moment. So Zhuge can actually pounce and eventually take a fight, but for the moment he doesn't know where the army is. The Overseer will check it out, and now he knows Zhuge probably gonna try to take a fight, even going up the ramp here.
Yeah, TLO needs to delay that a little bit more, knowing that he has +2 on the way. If he can get that and then fight, it will be so much better here for him. We don't see a single Ravager. Actually, it's going to be just pure roaches here from both players. TLO turns around and he's going to engage 4 on here against this army of Zhuge that he has more army supply right now, so it's going to be a couple more roaches for him. TLO needs to regroup, make sure he gets a very good concave there.
And no creep, so the concave is going to be a little bit harder to make happen, but a lot of roaches. He's actually going to go for the hog. Going to try to have all his roaches fight at the same time. TLO, that is, in terms of army supply, is actually dropping a little bit, 96 to 74, and this is looking super well for our Finnish player. Zhuge going to probably win this fight with the reinforcements. It's hard to tell. The +2 didn't kick in yet, so that's an investment that is not producing anything for the German player, and he needs to pull back. This is bad for TLO.
Yeah, he's trying to regroup here with more roaches, but Zhuge is going to pile on here, regroup with his own roaches, maybe head straight into that gold. It's just so hard to reinforce from 2 sides without having some units get caught here for TLO. That's the real difficult part. And there's just so much more army supply for Zhuge. I think he's going to be able to do this here as long as he stays solid, takes his time, doesn't rush in too fast, make sure he sections away these parts of the army here of TLO.
Nice micro from TLO, right, just baiting a little bit to go up the ramp, but Zhuge will actually take that bait, go up the ramp, getting a lot of drones, so that's a lot of income that's not going the Germans' way. On the bottom side of the screen, some roaches from reinforcements from Zhuge actually gonna go down. The +2 kicked in for TLO. Will it make a difference? 102 supply against 52, double the amount for Finland. This is not looking well. This is a ceremony coming up from Zhuge, who will take the first game against Germany. And once again, the Finnish sniper takes it GG.
The best of 3 has concluded, and Zhuge does his country proud once again. And it's just very swift build here, a swift snipe. Just mass roaches with +1. He probably knew that TLO was likely to start +2, maybe overdrone just a little bit. Zhuge stayed on a much lower drone count. I think it was 42.
Yes.
Whereas TLO spiked at 50. And like I was saying, that can be a big difference. You might think, it's just 8, right? Like he's on his side of the map defending. No, like there was quite a few more roaches when Zhuge first attacked. So that can make a wall of difference, and he did there. TLO took the fight maybe a little bit too early. He was also missing some crit spread, I think, between his bases to reinforce faster, which Zhuge was the one who had that. So.
Yeah, talk about creativity. I mean, TLO getting out creativity, like, is that something that we see happen quite a bit in ZVZ? Not that much, but Zhuge with that tiny adjustments, just making it so his roaches from his third base, the gold base, just come into the fight a little bit faster, and that's the problem on this map. When you get sectioned off your goal, then it just, goes worse and worse for you after that, because you can even split a couple of roaches if you're the attacking player. You split a couple of roaches towards the gold, not, investing that much into your attack. Just 4 roaches, you're not going to mine from here anymore. And the roaches coming from that hatchery will get, sectioned and taken away. So just being the first to attack, just going for that mid-game timing push, +1, lots of roaches, not that subtle, but, pretty damn effective.
Yeah, I thought we might see a lot of players today kind of keeping it real and going for the all-in, especially with Taiwan playing later. But Zhuge gets us started here in game 1, just stays on low draw count, goes for it, and a very important victory. If you're Serral and Welmu there, you're pretty happy because the lesser players, so to speak, here in Finland already scored map 1. And actually, we've got the results of the vote here.
You can still vote.
56%. People that voted think that Deutschland's going to win.
Deutschland?
That's actually not that high, I would say, compared to where most people would say, how much Germany would be the favorite, right?
I agree with you.
I would have thought
on
like
paper,
over 60%, maybe.
But I think we're talking to really Starcraft 2 educated people that know that this matchup happened in the past, and Finland did better than expected. So once again, maybe a tiny bit, lean towards Germany, but at the same time, we know that Finland is no pushover, and it shows in the votes. You can still vote #DEUWin or #FIN-win. What about second player for Germany? Who do you think is going to come in?
It depends on the map as well, but I would say
je regarde le mec, il a
usually it can be good to save Showtime for last. I think if Hero is confident against Zerg, and I think that against Zugelion it might be, just send him out now. So I would say maybe Hero Marine, but sending out either, to be honest, is kind of like similar right now.
You know what, Todd? I will say the same. I think it's Hero Marine.
Yeah?
So it's either we boost Luke dumb, or we both Luke dumb. Showtime! Showtime is going to be the player. Protoss it is, and as we mentioned, the heavy hitter.
Yeah, big expectations there. If Showtime loses there, like it's really bad for Germany. I think it's going to be super hard for them to recover. Somehow, obviously, Romain is still very good, but you want the top guy on your team here in Showtime to start taking out names and already to score some points. So logic here would be that Showtime wins against Zugelion and then does well most likely against the next player, and depending on who it is, though.
I like the let's get Zugelion out of the way a little bit with sending Showtime, because I feel like and he showed it. Zugelion had what it takes to take out TLO, but I don't know about Showtime. But then, like, knowing who's the player in place for Germany is a really good advantage for Finland. This is what getting that first game actually grants you as a team, which is maybe now we send Walmu. We're going a little bit in the future right there, but
I don't want to overlook Walmu, especially in PvP.
Walmu
but
PvP, I would be scared, man.
At the end of the day, though, it feels like Finland against Germany often comes down to Cyril against Showtime. So if we Showtime coming out now, it kind of feels like Cyril might be able to pick his map, and so will Walmu against him down the line, even if he wins here. But here we are, map number 2. And starting on the bottom left-hand side of the map, playing as the red Protoss. Yes, there is red in his flag as well. It's of course Showtime.
And in the top right, we nicknamed him the Finnish Sniper. He took the first game against Dr. Creativity. He is Zugelion for Finland, obviously. Can they do as well as during Nation Wars 3 top 4? Can they make it even better? Really like one of my dark horse teams, like really, really interesting potential, lots of cool player to watch. I don't know, but even though I would hate to lose against Walmu every day, I still think that watching his games and commentating his games is really, really exciting and really interesting to do. Like, he has some amazing army control, really cute builds and everything. Obviously, Showtime is also a delight to watch. Like, in terms of army control, this guy is just out of this world. And, just a great Nation Wars altogether. Germany versus Finland, 1-0 for Finland at the moment. We'll see if Germany can sell a score.
We can see the new tag, by the way, for Showtime, Arma, which stands for Arma Team, which he joined. I think it was like 1 or 2 days ago.
Yeah.
It was just announced. He and Daishi moved over from Millennium to the rebirth of the Arma Team.
How does it make you feel? You used to be in Arma Team, right?
Yeah.
At the
I think it's pretty cool to see them come back. Like, it's a very iconic team of the French scene. So.
Oh yeah, super happy to see him back, and it gives me warm memories of my youth and how I remember all those teams from Warcraft 3 days. And the Arma Team obviously was super strong and super interesting to watch. And now they make a comeback like the Phoenix. They rise from the ashes, and now we've got Showtime and Daishi. Cool lineup for a European team. Really, really nice. And as you mentioned, like a really great pickup. Showtime.
Yeah.
It's like one of the hottest free agents. Where he was free agent for like probably 6 hours between the moment he left, Millennium, because they disbanded, and joined the Arma Team. But really cool. A nice tag. Arma is kind of nice. Well,
it looks good.
Probably will be written 80 in the future.
By the way, do we know what the ceremony was supposed to be from Zugelion?
He was doing something like
with like a scepter. Was it a scepter? Or like
probably lightsaber, like dance or something, or like martial art, or I don't know. Like he had something.
It
He
was
had
a
a
stick
scepter.
or
He
like
had
a
a scepter.
scepter, yeah.
It was supposed to be Star Wars. So,
It was?
Star Wars connected. But the thing is, when you can see only his legs and feet, it's really hard to tell what it is.
Yeah, that's why I asked. Because I wasn't sure. Like, I kind of, made up my own idea of it. That's a pretty sick wall, by the way. Like, you would think if you have pylons in your wall, it's scary. But now, with having some gateways forward,
What
it
you
kind
gonna
of
do now?
reinforces it. What?
What's the Zerg gonna do now? Like, how are you supposed to destroy this wall in the early game? Well,
He's going to wait until he has a maxed out army and then come, I guess. But, in the early game, like, it would be very hard to attack into this, even though technically, if you get a bunch of Ravagers, they can land bile on these pylons from afar.
But it tells me a lot about how staple the build that Showtime is going for now is, because he goes for the 4 gateway. Twilight that doesn't research anything means I'm going to drop DTs, build some Archons, and try to get some damage done. And it seems like a cheesy build. You've got 4 gateways and a Dark Shrine. We mentioned it quite a bit during before the Christmas break in 2016. Yeah. But it is the staple, and you can see that this is a Dark Shrine build. But it's not like you will hard counter him because of the Prism micro and the potential of Archons. It will make the Zerg build Spore Crawlers because you don't want to be that dangerous, like that crazy. I guess it's still DTs, even though they won't be staying like this quite that long. And actually, that Spore is not over. Okay, it is. With 2 Roaches and a Queen, he should go back. Maybe gonna go and take the. Oh, it's actually gonna take the Queen. Pretty nice.
You went for one last goodbye inject here, just before dying.
No.
Really, I have to say, I'm impressed by Zhuge Liang and how solid he looks nowadays, though. Even though, game 1 was a huge commitment towards aggression and just a ton of roaches, like, his creep spread seems on point. He got the spores and the roaches here just on time. He actually made the roaches. He kind of looked a little bit late at first, but they got there just right on time. He's got, I would say, around 10 of them right now, and as long as he keeps them in a good position, he shouldn't take too much damage. But right now, he's only got a couple of them here on the third space. Transfers drones away. Make sure he doesn't lose any of those. If you can preserve your drone count here and drone up a little bit more, that's exactly the way you want the game to be going here early on against Protoss, just to build up that economy and then choose exactly what you want to go into, whether it's to play with some lurkers, or recently the meta has included a lot of Zergling Bane with some Baneling drops, which are very hard to deal with at times, and I hope we do see that. And yeah, the Baneling Nest is going to start now.
And not the fastest of Baneling Nests, so not going to go for that early stage of Link Bane pressure and drops, but we will see them in play in the rest of this game. And obviously, with that kind of strategy, you want to creep a little bit more than this. I feel like Zhuge Liang could be a little bit, more accurate with his creep spread. Like no single tumor active on the front of this. Well, that's also because of the Archon play. Actually, the Prism is going to come back, getting that Overload. Probably will get those 2 tumors, and this doesn't look like amazing damage, but this is so great considering everything is free from Showtime. Didn't lose a single unit, got a Queen, got Overloads, got a couple of drones, I feel, maybe not, but just tumors, Overloads, and you just, slow down how Zhuge Liang wants to play.
The worker count being even is always going to favor Protoss, I feel like, in this situation, so it's definitely put in some good work here early on, but it's really going to come down to how well he handles the Baneling Ravager, I think, that we're going to be seeing from Zhuge Liang, who right now is struggling a lot. I'm surprised he's taking this much damage here from just a War Prism and 2 Archons, considering the amount of units that he has. He's just kind of out of position all the time. And Showtime is just thriving right now in this game.
That was some nice splash damage on the drones, but not getting the kill in the end, so remaining with 69 drones, Zhuge Liang that is, but also lost quite a bit of mining time by moving those drones around. But as you mentioned, no roaches in the main. He was a slightly bit out of position, and as we can see, like Archons, they will melt Queens, they will melt Zerglings, so he had to pull back. That army is looking pretty nice. He's actually going to go for a 4th base on the gold, still putting some pressure with the Archons and the Prism in the front. That's like top-level Protoss play. Not going to lose the Archons and just, powering this Prism with APM and just getting damage out of it.
And look at this amount of sentries as well. Like, if Showtime wanted to hit the timing, it could have been a very strong one. Obviously, the one thing you're scared of the most, if he was going to move out, is, full surround. Fighting on creep can be difficult. Ravagers, obviously, still break force fields. And Baneling drops are still always a threat, even though there's been no signs so far in this game that Zhuge Liang was going to go for those. It feels like Zhuge Liang is playing a lot more scared here than most Zergs would. Guys like Laser would be dropping banelings into those mineral lines all over the place, whereas Zhuge is only making units to take a fight at home because he thinks that Showtime might be hitting the timing, and that's where Showtime is so great, is that he's just taking a 4th base.
Yeah,
he's ready to take his time, going to the later stages of the game.
You don't want to move? Let me make some Archons and Blink Stalkers, Zealot charge, and you've got a lot of units. Like we always said in the entirety of Starcraft that Zerg that keeps on, producing tier 2 units like Ravagers, Roaches, Zerglings, Banelings, they will eventually lose to a maxed out army of full tech Protoss units. So this is not over by any means. The fight will still happen. That Zergling run by could get a lot of, a couple of probe, but that's not going to make a huge, tremendous difference. Nice micro on the Prism, gonna get those 2 queens. Like
Showtime punishes any mistake.
Oh
Zhuge sends units elsewhere just a little bit too early. He's going to pick off 2 more queens in the main. There's going to be some injects missing there. He's just so good. And he's got such a huge immortal count here that I think like this maxed out army, you mentioned it. If you're facing a Zerg who's stuck on lair tech, when you hit a maxed out army as Protoss, you're supposed to do very well. Obviously, Banelings are still very scary, of course, to play against. But like I said, there is no drop. There's no drop for those
Look at this! Oh, he's eventually gonna lose an Archon, but
the caster curse.
This
was doing very well for a long time.
Moving the observer in a flick of a switch, like it's so good. Like he's playing so well, and you mentioned it, like the way that Zhuge is playing, feel rather unambitious. Like he's not trying for all those cute moves, the bending drops. He just wants to hit that strong timing. He has a maxed out army, 120 army supply at the moment, getting 12 more Banelings, +2/+1 in terms of attack for melee. It's just going to go for that massive attack and try to finish the game with it. Not going to go for, actually going to go for the Hive and the Spire, but I feel like he needs to make something happen with this army because that looks like a snowbally army from Showtime to me.
Zhuge has been trying to go head-to-head with Showtime here. He's been taking a lot of shots to the body.
Oh yeah.
And Showtime might be going for the Haymaker in a second, but Zhuge Liang is packing up a punch here, a hell of a punch with all of these Banelings and Ravagers. This is the one army you need to be super scared of there, especially if you don't have Storm. Archons obviously can do well against this. They're going to tank most of the Banelings, but the positioning of your army...
Well, let's see the splits, because there is 72 Baneling stock, and this is going to blow everywhere. 4 Banelings actually going to get killed a little bit by those Zerglings. For now, the execution from Showtime is perfect, and now the attack comes. Force fields perfectly placed. Only Archons and Immortals taking dynamic damage, soaking everything. A couple of Archons remaining. And Immortals, can he take the fight against those Ravagers? Nice production of Stalkers right there, and I think he's going to blink on it and maybe finish it, dodging the bile. And Showtime going for the German suplex right there, just taking out Zhuge Liang, wrecked instantly in this fight.
And he can reinforce close by as well. I think he's got a War Prism just kind of right behind this. He's going to be able to send units back straight into the fight. Zhuge Liang trying to get a lot of Banelings to kind of survive in this game, but it doesn't feel like he's going to have enough anytime soon, and these Ravagers by themselves, they're going to be so much weaker. Loses his very important 3rd base, and sure, Adrenal Glands might be on the way, but if you look at the supply here, and just in terms of the composition, Showtime is in a much better place, already having the gold, starting a 5th base. How many look at the supply are we going to have this tournament? Because we already got a couple. It feels like every game comes back. It's almost as if the supply was super important in this game.
Maybe a little bit important. And once again, gonna go roll in with all those Baneling. They see me rolling. They aid in a little bit, getting those Archons on the right side. But I don't think it will be enough, actually. Those Ravagers getting the connections that they need. And he will clear out for the first time.
That 4th base under assault, though, on the top left-hand side.
Destroyed every single drone. That was a super smart split from Showtime once again. Just taking out those Zealots out of the army, getting the drones, 23 down. The hatch will remain alive. But in terms of economy, look at the bank of Showtime.
Yeah.
1800, and look at this. This is just gross. I don't want to see this. Protoss on a gold base with 5th bases. Nah, I'm not taking any of this. This is gross.
He's not going carrier.
At least he's not going carrier. Actually, you're right with this. 135.
5 more gates. I think Showtime's been struggling spending all of his minerals. He's a little bit afraid he gets overwhelmed, so he's going to get these as an extra safety +3 attack start as well.
Yes.
He hasn't played Templar Archives, has he? Because I think I'm still seeing DTs being warped in.
Oh yeah. He's going for the Dark Shrine Archons. Which are a little bit cheaper in terms of gas, but actually suits the way he played this game. Never was really
3 mutas.
Oh yeah, they're gonna change a lot. Might get the Prism, and you never know. We'll see now. Evacuating the drone line. That's something that tells you The Zerg doesn't want to fight because he knows he's going to get crushed.
I mean, when there is 7 Archons against 14 Banelings, usually you're doing pretty well.
Oh, the Templar Archive. He heard you. He wanted you to have one. He might do a Templar Archon at some points. For now, those are just Dark Templars. Those 3 Mutalisks could have died instantly, but they did not. Well, over on the right side.
That base is beautiful.
Yeah.
These gateways spread out perfectly.
Is this what Protoss dreams are made of?
Yeah.
Perfectly placed.
Proto 7.
Gates. Nice drone micro by Zugelion, keeping that Spore alive and getting out that DT. But
he's actually getting 3-3 here, but I mean, supply-wise, man. He would need a couple of Ultras here to be able to maybe have a chance.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's still Immortals and just so many Archons.
Bane's will actually deal a lot of damage, and those Zealots, he needs to pull them back. That's exactly what he's doing, trying to get the surround. Right now with the Banelings on the left side, all those Archons getting blown up, but those Zealots, the Butchers, they're gonna come for the win, man. Actually, only 3 just charging. Guys, we said that we will all go at the same time.
They went full French. They were on strike for a second, but finally going to get in there. The 3 Mutas completely useless, and GG gets called. Showtime brings it back here very nicely with a solid win over Zhuge who definitely hang in there. But against Showtime, you can't just hang in there and hope to do well, because once this reaches a fourth base situation against 4 bases, and he's getting close to maxing out, and you're stuck on lair tech, usually it's not going to go well for you. So. This also builds up the anticipation for a potential Cyril playing a similar kind of game, but just better than what we just saw from Zhuge here and against the Showtime, who definitely did very well, I think, in this game.
No, he played a solid game. He played a Showtime game. What we expected of him, super great army control. The Prism Micro with the Archons was just stellar. And yeah, just I think he's the kind of guy that will say, like, I know what you're going for. I know that timing. I know you're gonna go for a shitload of Banelings, and I'm just gonna wait for them to come in, and I'm gonna do that proper army and just taking bases when I feel like I can defend it properly. And I think playing that passive game from Zhuge standpoint, it was a really late timing.
Is it Wellmo coming out to try his chance at PvP, at which he's very good at,
Wellmo.
Or does Cyril? Was Cyril not impressed by this, and he wants to try his luck in Showtime? I think Wellmo's likely.
Are we dumb again? No,
okay, yeah,
we're right. Nice.
So a PvP from Wellmo here, which could be the turning point. Obviously, Zhuge took a very important win, but if Wellmo was to win here, then obviously Showtime can be revived later on, but then Heroman would have to put in, I guess, some serious work for Germany to really have a chance. Again, I mean, even if Showtime gets revived, obviously Germany can still win if he wins every one of his games, but you don't want to be going down 1-2 against Finland.
Obviously, at the moment, 1-1 tied up, so we're trading games a little bit. We'll see if Wellmo can make it happen against Showtime in a PvP. Back then, Wellmo used to be that King in the North PvP master. He used to be all those guys did super well in the WCS Europe back in the days in Germany.
Yeah, he was actually super underrated for how well he did every
He's
single
always
season.
been like this. Yeah, I love Wellmo, and I'm really excited to see him play. But we'll see it after the break. 2 games, so we go to a quick 2-minute break. Just stay with us. We will be back with that PvP against Wellmo and Showtime. Hello and welcome back to Starcraft 2 Nation Wars. Thank you for being with us. At the moment, Germany and Finland are battling out super hard. And it is tied 1-1.
Yeah, I don't think
it is.
It's been a major upset just yet. Like Zhuge he's had success against Yellow in the past, so here he was again. But a very important win for him, because now, like, we're tied up. The best player of Germany is already kind of out, and now it's going to be for Wellmo to try and play his role of sniper. Everything could be going according to plan. Like, I don't think too many people would expect Zhuge to beat Showtime, but Wellmo here, coming out, clearly is going for that PvP that he's known for. If he beats Showtime there, Germany's in serious trouble.
Exactly.
They are the country that I think a lot of people every time look at in those nation wars as one of the favorites. I think in this group, like, if objectively, like, Netherlands and Germany, like I said, should be the favorites, maybe with Germany slightly more because of Showtime mostly. But Wellmo actually tweeted, let's see if Mirciol gets a chance to play against Germany.
Okay, Wellmo already super
taunt.
cheeky, like Zhuge is going to all-kill Germany. This did not happen. Now he gets to play a game. I would like to see his tweets. Oh my God, I'm actually playing against Showtime. But as you mentioned, and we talked about it before even Showtime winning that game against Zugalion, we were anticipating Wellmu, the PvP master that he is, gonna go out and try to play against Showtime. It will take place on Vani Research Station, and since you're an amazing Protoss player, I'm gonna ask you what you think about this map in PvP.
This map, not just in PvP, but in general, it feels really tricky, you know, with the way it's come back, with the changed meta and everything. So, not sure exactly like how it's gonna go down. I feel like obviously like an expansion is gonna be definitely used probably pretty early on because it's so easy with that pocket expansion on this map. But a third base, is a third base gonna be taken early or not? And actually, we have a super early probe being sent out here.
Yeah. Before the pylon from Showtime.
And they met him on the map.
Yeah, he had the pylon. I was super scared at some point.
Yeah,
no.
Both players going for a very, very early scout here to try and make sure. Because on this map, you can go for a perfect wall where you don't let your opponent scout. But starting at the top side of the map, playing as the Red Protoss. Sick.
Sickest fast intro! Next time, Todd is actually going to rap super fast some Eminem songs. Just stay tuned to Nation Wars 4. In the bottom side of the map for Finland, he is the PvP master. Wellmu.
So basically they sent those probes out so early because you see the wall that both players went for.
Yep.
If you don't scout this early, you get to that wall and then you see a pylon, a core and a gate. And you say, what is going on? Is he expanding or is he about to kill me?
And actually,
in this case...
Wellmu is out. You're never gonna know. No, you'll know that I dropped down a Cybernetics core. This is scouted.
Yeah.
But anything past that point is actually gonna be super hard to scout. And yeah, the
Adepts can't go in against a perfect wall. That's one of the best things about this.
Thank God.
Usually this really can encourage the Stargates, but a lot of players are very worried about playing Stargate against Stargate because it can get kind of silly a little bit quick. I love that Showtime, by the way. Not only, oh my God, he blocked. That's so sick.
Showtime trying to be as annoying as possible, blocking that second potential nexus with a pylon.
And who's attacking that pylon, by the way, did a lot of damage to it, and his Zealot was actually started and being chrono boosted because of this. He's gonna let it finish, and Wellmu gets out. So many things already happening, and we're 2 minutes in.
This is, 2017 PvP. Everything going down before the third minute mark.
Oh, that's so funny. Wellmu started super fast.
He's actually going to go for a core. What the hell's going on?
Why not?
Showtime!
He knows that his opponent cannot get out of the wall. He's going to see the Stargate. This is huge, actually.
Okay.
Like, you need to see this. Actually, I wonder, does Showtime cancel his own Stargates? Or does he try and catch up with his own?
Yeah, because he did build this one. But Showtime, at the moment, just playing Wellmu like a fiddle. No, you're never going to do what you want. That Zealot's actually going to take so much time.
Showtime has a later Stargates.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to be able to expand it faster because he doesn't have a core building on his natural. And he has the information. The information is very important. Wellmu has no idea that Showtime's going for his Stargate. So obviously Wellmu is going to go for Phoenixes because that's what you do. Like, you don't really go for Oracle because otherwise you're going to be in super big trouble against Phoenixes, which can be the standard, especially with a wall of like this on this map. So Showtime is just going to try to catch up with his own Phoenixes. Having an earlier Nexus obviously is going to be nice. But he's going to be behind on the Phoenix count. He still goes for a follow-up scout here. I mean, I guess...
You wanted to see what unit came out of it?
He's playing against Wellmu. Like, obviously, like, you scout a Stargate of Wellmu, you don't go for a follow-up scout. Maybe DTs, walk into your wall, kill it, and then you've lost the game, so...
That's a super meta build, actually. Like, Stargate, proxy Stargate Oracle into DT or something. Like,
Has it gonna go for it later?
Yeah, of course. You will see that build and probably a lot more that you weren't supposed to see because this is not how Starcraft is supposed to be played. But that's how he plays and Hastus plays, and it's just a blast to watch. Those two Phoenixes actually gonna cross the map, try to get some damage done at the opposite side, but will be granted, a welcome by 2 other Phoenixes. Will get a probe in the end. Needs to react fast. Nice micro, from both sides.
Ooh,
Showtime might be able to intercept, and he will. Okay, the micro is pretty solid from both players.
Yeah.
Going with the healthy Phoenix, getting some more shots, but I would say it's an even trade. Both Phoenixes at 60 HP, I believe.
Player is never as strong as when being backed into a corner. And he turned around, chased those Phoenixes away. Second Stargate on the way here for Showtime, who's not going to be trying to go for some kind of early fleet beacon, which Wellmu goes for. Wellmu is fearless. I love this. He's so fearless. Because if Showtime chooses to play aggressive, even though he got his target a little bit later, and there is this one moment where he has one more Phoenix and he just controls it just a little bit better, he's going to be able to do damage. And also, like, Showtime is known for being, a fairly defensive Protoss, even though nowadays he becomes so good that he attacks just when he needs to for the most part.
Yeah.
Sometimes being fearless can be one of the best quality that you can have when you play Protoss. And in this case, if Realmu completes Phoenix range and heads across the map, he's gonna be able to do so much, I think, with it. So
basically, yeah, with the +2 range of the the upgrade. What's the name again?
Anion Pulse Crystals.
Anion Pulse Crystals, indeed. Those Phoenixes from Wellmu will literally never get hit by another Phoenix, considering the range that they have. And this is something super terrible that could happen to Showtime, even though he has way more Phoenixes than his opponent. At the moment, 6-6, but he will show in a couple of minutes when those two targets actually kick in. At the moment, just producing one by one from Showtime. Slight mistake. Second target coming in. The Anion Pulse Crystals are already at 50%, mate.
This is super scary here for Showtime.
And he still hasn't showed it.
Like I said, Wellmu is fearless the whole way. He was fearless with the way he went for the fast target with no hesitation. And he was fearless with the way he went for Anion Pulse Crystals super fast. And he's obviously going to be fearless with the way he's going to fly across the map and try and get a good engagement against Showtime Phoenixes. So if Showtime starts losing some of these very important Phoenixes that he's got, and you start on falling behind, you lose a big Phoenix versus Phoenix fight, you pretty much lost the game. There is no Stalker transition that's going to save you.
Okay.
It's just going to fly all over the place, snipe probes, and put an end to the game.
What should Showtime do instantly? He's actually going to kill that pylon that blocks him from it, prevents him from taking a third
He
base.
should camp with his pylons and...
Yeah, he needs those photon overcharges to actually do so well. At the same time, gonna lift up some probes, not showing the range at the moment, I guess. Maybe
Showtime
he picked
could
up
have
on
cornered
it.
them, actually. He could have cornered them, went for it. He's actually going to do that. He's going to move in there. Some of his Phoenixes in the back are not shooting, but he's actually cornered. This whole force of Wellmu.
The range will not help you if there's a wall in your back, and actually losing so much Phoenixes at the moment. Every single one will go down.
Wow.
And super nice tactic from Showtime. Actually blocking him to the top right hand side of this map. And now, more Phoenixes, the range about to come up, and a third Stargate. You talked about a silly game. This is Phoenixes versus Phoenixes, but this is not even going to be silly. It's going to be super hard for Wellmu.
It happens more than
the
you think on this map as well. It happens a lot. It's just kind of the standard here with this wall-up that you see from the players. Showtime is so funny because he's sticking to his image, he's just solid all around, going for the third base.
Whoa.
And Wellmu's overextending again. He's kind of trapped on the other side here.
Okay.
He's going to get chased down.
So Wellmu will lose all his Phoenixes, and probably with it a lot of opportunity for him to win this game.
After you lose this many Phoenixes, now Showtime's going to be so far ahead on the Phoenix count. He's covering all of his bases as well. He's like, what's one of the only things I can lose to? Starts a robo. Wellmu is like, what's one of the only way I can come back in this game is if I catch back up on the Phoenix count, starts double additional Stargate. This is madness.
He needs that Mothership Core to attack him super close to that Nexus and Pylons, because he needs those Photon Overcharge to not take a tremendous amount of damage. Triple Pylon. Thank God those Phoenixes can't hit ground. 5 Phoenix just gather up 4 Phoenixes from Wellmu, but at the moment he's getting outplayed, he's getting out-microed super hard. Those Pylons finishing. One Photon Overcharge getting used, but lightly pulling back from Showtime and still not losing that much. We will take a look at the units lost tab at some point, but he lost so many Phoenixes compared to Wellmu.
Yeah, I think Showtime's done it here. When you have this many Phoenixes and you've won the Phoenix battle, it's like I say, you can just pile on with the aggression. Wellmu's going to try to transition. He's a very brave guy, Twilight Council, but I don't think whopping in 3 Stalkers, 10 Phoenixes is going to do much. So GG gets called, and Showtime, with a very important win here over Finland, puts his country up in the lead 2-1, and he's going to force Cyril to come out.
All right, so no real need for a reveal, because we know who's going to be the last player from Finland here, with Cyril being the only one remaining. So it's going to be ZVP. And
if this was a fighting match or MMA, Showtime would have grabbed the mic and say, Cyril, where you at? I can smell your fear from here.
Come in and try to take my belt. It's going to be hard, mate. No, yeah, Showtime definitely super informed. That's what we expected of him. Finland and Wellmu having the opportunity, getting the matchup that we expected from them to be the right one to beat Showtime in PvP. But just wasn't enough. And even though he was fearless, even though he had those Anion Crystals, Impulse, something, +2 range, faster than his opponent, he just got outplayed a little bit. That's a little bit sad because he had that cute build, that cute adjustment to get the upper end, but didn't work at all in this game. And suddenly you've got 15 Phoenixes with range on top
I'm
of
a bit
you on the
surprised,
Nexus.
actually. I expected Wellmo to handle this a lot better. If he stayed afar or further away from those Phoenixes and then just kind of sniped them from afar, he would have been able to obviously snipe pretty much everything that Showtime had. Obviously, Showtime would have fought back every time and try and delay the engagement, but not the best management of the situation by Wellmo. And now finally we see the clash of the Titans, which we definitely may be seeing more than once here in this clan war between these two. We would expect them to be revived. Actually, Germany, they went down a little bit in the votes.
Yeah, they were 54,
even though
right?
they're now 2-1.
Yeah, it will change if you guys keep on voting.
People
and
just
now
love Roddy.
you feel like
They want to
being
vote with
right.
Roddy.
Huh?
People just love Roddy. They want to vote with Roddy. So he predicted Finland. They're like, let's vote Finland.
4-3 will happen. I know. Well, it can still happen if Cyril does his best, and his best is actually reversing a pretty bad situation. Zhuge being able just to take one map, and then after that, Wellmo, the team captain, sends himself in PvP, loses, and now Showtime. We mentioned how it could go, feeling comfortable, more and more comfortable, just playing two different matchups. And winning super convincingly in both.
Yeah, they probably play a whole lot on ladder, and actually it's going to be Whirlwind, which if you think about it in terms of Protoss versus Zerg, like as far as openers go, you're not going to be too worried, especially against somebody like Cyril. But Cyril is known for what? He's great macro, he's late game, he's high play. It's one of the best maps, I think, to reach that and just do very well overall. So I wonder, does Showtime actually, does he maybe throw in some more aggression than usual? Does maybe like some sort of 3-base timing, or does he try and play solid and expose himself to facing a late game Zerg who's one of the best at it?
All right. In the bottom left, representing Germany, is the Protoss Showtime.
The Meisterschaft.
The Meisterschaft.
Actually, it's
Triple Meisterschaft.
He didn't even win the last Meisterschaft.
He did not?
Yeah,
Oh, no,
he didn't
Zero
participate.
Marine.
He's like, yeah, he's Zero Marine that won it, but he's just
we actually casted it together.
of saying the Meisterschaft, and then every time Tielo comes out, he's the Van der Wunsch.
The Van der Wunsch. In the top right, playing for Finland. He needs to make it happen for his country. Now down 2-1 is Cyril. One of my biggest disappointment in a way in 2016. I felt like with the beginning of the year that he had, kind of like Lembo, like those guys were super active on the Legacy of the Void beta.
Yeah.
Played pretty well at the beginning, then Lembo fell off a little bit. Cyril did amazingly well in Nation War 3, and then, like even the first stop of the year in Leipzig, I was really expecting him to do super well, but almost didn't perform at the level that I was expecting. So I really have high hopes for Cyril, like really skilled player, super fast, and super young, talented at the same time.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I said, I think these two probably meet pretty often on the ladder. They are almost at all times in the... I mean, if they're playing enough and if they're motivated, in the top 5 or top 10. So they've probably played a bunch recently, like most of these pro players as well. They know each other's barcodes, so that's not even an issue in knowing who you're playing against. So there's probably a lot of meta game here going into this game, or even potential series. Like I said, this may not be the only time that they meet, but it's definitely likely that it would be the only time that they would meet on this map. So it's time to use your best builds here.
Yeah,
being cross map as well, I'm pretty sure Cyril's gonna be happy with that. Usually that's an easier third base that you can take, and I feel like as long as Showtime doesn't go for a 3-base timing, Cyril's gonna be happy to take it to more bases, to later stages of the game, hive tech and all that. Cyril, I've always regarded him as one of the best hive tech players of Zerg over in Europe.
Yeah, in Europe. We talked about Petreus in this department too, but obviously not from Europe, but another Zerg player that really tends to perform super well when he reaches that late game stage of the game. Speed for Zerglings and speed for Overlords, both at the same time. Getting research from Cyril that wants to have a little bit of map presence, but at the same time an opportunity to scout against, for instance, that Stargate that we see coming in from Showtime with an Oracle first. Warp Gate has actually been super delayed, not gonna boost it at all, just went for a straight Stargate, really fast Oracle, and a third base, vertically in a vertical spawns, like they're taking the bottom side third base from the Zerg player, not gonna go for the left one. So we'll have an angle of defense that is pretty clear. All
We're
vertical.
getting a little preview of Haz, a little teaser, just an oracle being made, because with Haz it's going to be 25 oracles and
Probably.
more.
Just remember that unit. Hits fast, hits strong, needs mana, and we'll probably see 25 when Haz for Taiwan actually gets to play, because he loves to do that. And he's super great at it, I guess. Like, he knows what kind of structure will die within 3 seconds.
He's actually sick. He's actually the best player in the world at that style, which makes it super scary. Because I don't think too many players get too much practice against it. Oracle's going to move in there. The Spore's not finished yet, and there was only 1 queen, so that's going to be 2 drones dying. But actually, oh my god, that's so funny. The late timing on these queens actually turns this into a win for Cyril, because 2 queens rejoined that position, and they shoot so far. They are like the Steph Curry of Starcraft, that they take down this Oracle.
That was a 3-pointer, all right. Getting the kill super easily. And obviously, having 1 queen, which makes Showtime feeling super comfortable. I'm going to kill a lot of units right there. And then suddenly 3 queens, because the one from the main came in and the second one hatched from the hatchery. So great play right there.
Keep an eye on the probe counts. I mentioned that I think, especially on a map like this, like, you should be worried against somebody like Cyril to go into the late game. So if Showtime was to, stay on the lower walker counts, hey, look at this, more gates. He's dropping more gates. He's gonna be aggressive. He's dropping them on the 3rd base to kind of hide that from the Overlord that's scouting right now, which is gonna, I think, chase with the Phoenix in a second. Or did he cancel that? Oh, it's there. It's gonna be spotted though. That's a big deal. Cyril getting the whole scout here. This is why he's so good.
He gets all the gateways, but does he really understand how low the probe count is? He goes back to probe production, but
he's making quite a few probes right now. But usually when you make this many gates and you go for a War Prism and Resonating Glaives, you're gonna go for adepts and an attack.
Definitely, you want to shred a little bit of those Zerglings and filthy drones at the opposite side of the map. 55 drones for Cyril, but a really, really late Roach Warren. He needs to be able to produce those roaches, because obviously Lings will not do well against Adepts with Resonating Glaives.
Banelings can do well though, and he has a Baneling nest, so he's going to be going for a bunch of Banelings, but he needs a lot of them against this many Adepts, and you can expect the split from Showtime to be great. I don't think Showtime is committing to this as much as, going for an all-in. He's just going forward, basically forcing Cyril to make units instead of drones right now. He might not even go for, I think he's just going to pull back. Cancel that Shade.
No, I think he will go for it, because a little bit of out of positions, those Zerglings and Banelings will get the surround in the 2nd base, the natural, but in the 3rd base, I think the damage is being dealt, the drones have been pulled off. And the Prism in the main.
This is
super great from Showtime. Actually going to get some more economy going, getting the surround with the Zerglings at the same time from Cyril, but the Shade comes in, kicks in the natural, getting a lot of drones. And now, if we take a look at the income in the bottom right, 1,000 minerals to the 2,600 of Showtime, because all those drones are actually moving around. They're not gathering minerals or gas whatsoever.
Yeah, that Prism in the main changed everything. He only got 7 drones, but in the meantime, only units were being made for Cyril. So now Showtime, he's 20 walkers ahead. Oh my god, this guy is so good at Starcraft.
Well,
he knows that if you leave Cyril alone, you go straight into the late game, you're going to be in trouble, and we're going to have a Baneling drop here.
Oh, that Overlord actually just right-click at the wrong position, and 4 Stalkers actually getting warped in, and that Overlord is not moving. Wow. Cyril, that was his opportunity to come back in terms of economy, but will lose that Overlord.
Oh,
yes,
he
will.
Oh my god, he could have sent that the other way here with Cyril. Definitely making more mistakes here than I thought he would so far in this game.
The Spire. Well, what do we think about the Spire? Yeah, right now the income advantage is just tremendous from Showtime.
I think it's Showtime, when he gets a start like this, he's just going to kind of do the same thing that he did against Zhuge earlier, but maybe a little bit faster. Just hit that one timing where he has too much for the Zerg to handle.
Yeah.
Even though, sometimes his biggest flaw has been to play a little bit too passive. Most of the time, he's very good at attacking exactly when he needs to. I'm not sure why Cyril's committing a lot to all the attacks he's going for right now, but I guess if this surprised you, maybe he could do a little bit
if he
of
morphs
sniping.
All of them in Banelings within the main?
No, I think just Lings. You send them to the main hoping there's no units and no Mothership core nearby, and then you start killing a lot of probes.
Or maybe you keep two Zerglings and you keep them as Banelings, 6 Zerglings get the harass. Well, we'll see what he decides to go for. 6 Mutalisks will be the first units coming out from that Spire after getting some more drones to get back to 68 to 64.
Reaction.
Yeah, nice timing on the reaction from Showtime indeed.
how fast is this guy to pull his probes away? If only German trains were that effective. Maybe I will get somewhere on time for once.
You actually think that German trains are worse than French trains?
They are both the absolute worst in the world, but maybe German actually is on top on that leaderboard of the worst.
You'll have a discussion with Dr. Dario on that subject. He
It's
will
too
actually tell
unreasonable.
you how many trains have been late since the 1960s in Germany.
Dario is lying to himself when he says that these trains in Germany are good. Actually, he lives in Berlin. I guess it's totally different in Cologne.
Okay, the Mutalisk will actually intercept that prism. That's really cool. That's really cool. And considering how this game went and the fact that they are cross position, I'd say like Sarah is still not in a really great position, but he made it back because this is cross map. Because you had the time to build back that drone count. Now Mutalisk.
For a lot of Protosses, I would be super worried about these Mutas, but it's Showtime that we're talking about. So I would expect, Phoenixes to be made and overcharges to be used on the pylons. But actually, as I say that, he kind of messes up, uses the overcharge a little bit too late.
That's
on the
not a good start. That's not a good start. He will get that Stalker if he actually commits to it. Will not do it in the end. Not losing a Muta though, but probably one on the photon overcharge. Getting 6 probe, getting a Phoenix, setting up that Baneling drop on the side. Still has a lot of creep spread going, but I don't think he has that much static defense. He will have Banelings and Ravagers on the ground, but this army is a little bit scary. Mass Adept inside though. No Zero charge yet.
Banelings are going to be very dangerous here against this army, and Cyril, you can expect him to take some great engagements.
Utah's in the bottom.
Actually,
that's nice.
Baneling drop you on top of
Yes, +2. Yes, +2. Only one Bane will actually detonate on all those probes, but...
How good is Showtime's defense? Seriously, this is sick.
Yes, Showtime is a pretty good Protoss player at the moment, I would agree with you. Double target Phoenix production, but no +2 upgrade, no Onion Crystal, so...
Maybe that Hive Tech that we talked about going to be coming into play here. It's been super delayed this game just because of the way Showtime has played so well throughout the whole time. Those Phoenixes actually are very dangerous against this army. They can just kind of fly in there, kill the Mutas, pick up the Banelings, and I think Cyril realizes that his army is expandable, so he's going to move in there right now to try and trade with Showtime. He's got a little bit more army supply, but Showtime's in position. And like I said, look at those Phoenixes.
At the same time, I think we've got a drop on the top left. There's a lot of units, a lot of probes actually just dying with the Zergling round by 17 probes getting destroyed. And that's already a really great trade for Cyril that actually gave away just a couple of Zerglings, no Banelings, no Ravagers whatsoever.
When you lose this many workers there as Showtime, it's very encouraging to just go for the all-in, or at least some counter-aggression here to try and do some damage. Actually, dropping these adepts here is going to be doing a little bit of damage. He's making some probes, trying to catch back up on the walker count, down to 54 right now, but just look at the army supply. 127 for Showtime, 94 for Cyril. Obviously, the big threat is always going to be these Banelings on the ground in particular. He sees Corruptors being made.
That's a tell that the Hive Tech is probably coming in, but at the moment the Sculptors are actually going to take out those Phoenixes and Prism probably. There's not that many probes in this base, and Showtime's reaction time once again just out of this world, whopping 2 Stalkers, and with this base not being that that expendable in terms of numbers of probe, not going to lose that much. 7 in the end. That's decent enough, I guess, for Cyril.
He salvaged that a little bit with Showtime, sending some of these probes a little bit earlier. But yeah, that reaction time, I was going to say, is like the opposite of my games. I look and then my entire mineral line is dead, personally. He's been doing very well with that. But now, look at this. 135 army supply. Showtime's going to use his lower probe count to his advantage with a much bigger army than his opponent. He's got level 1 plasma shields, level 1 weapons on the ground. That's actually just a crazy amount of Archons.
That's actually pretty cute that he went for the shields. Like, I know this discussion has been going on for a long time, especially with Drogo. We talked about that with those Archon-centric.
Because it's Showtime.
Oh.
There's not going to be any more discussion.
No. Showtime did it. It's over. You know that it's the right way of playing. Even Stats was wondering about it during Home Story Cup, I know. Prism will drop those adepts, getting some building cancelled, a couple of drones, just keeping Cyril a little bit active. And those Corruptors, they didn't get the kill on the Prism, still alive and still active at the opposite side of the map. I think we've got the Depth run by in the bottom. The Adept will shade, go to that base, but at the moment just targeting the Queen. That's a lot to process at the same time, and at the moment the targeting is not perfectly on point.
And he's freeing up supply with this, actually.
Yeah, he is.
I don't think the Phoenixes are super needed either. I mean, it's Corruptors against which they do very bad, and which he know are going to be turned into Broodlords potentially. I think Showtime, he might go for Storm timing before Broodlords are there here in a second. That base is super exposed, by the way. Like, he lost a lot of probes there earlier. There is not a single cannon there.
Okay, and those Zerglings will actually gonna come back, and those are plus two Zerglings, so he
to
needs
buy
that reaction time we talked about, but Zerglings are already just covering for the retreats, and now a huge storm on those Zerglings will take them down to red HP, but not killing them, sorry, perfectly getting the Archon on the way out, but lost a lot of Zerglings on this one.
This buys time perfectly, though, for Cyril to go straight into Broodlord's down. And look at his gas! He's in Zerg heaven right now. Like, if he can get a bunch of Broodlords against this army, he's going to be able to do great against it. But right now, I think Showtime knows that it is time to finally go for an attack. 142 army supply to 122. And Storms are going to be so scary against this amount of Zergling and Bane. With the Archons at the front, like, he could just win this fight by a landslide.
If he goes for the top base, gonna split the units once again like he did against Zhuge a couple of Zealots going for the base in the top left. But there is a Spine Crawler that will be able to defend for a little bit. We've seen 62 Zergling getting action at the same time, Banelings getting more. This attack is going to be super hard. He doesn't have the vision on everything. Gonna go for the Banes. Try to get some Templars out. He needs to fight with the entirety of this army. Now the Baneling hatches and the surround comes in from Cyril. So many Banelings. The Storms are a little bit late to the party. Then Banelings will clear out most of the army, but the Phoenixes come in. Ravagers getting flown into the air. Corruptors getting that fight against Phoenixes, but this army, this ground army, not gonna go down. From Showtime might have hit the perfect timing to take out Cyril.
Yeah, showing Protosses around the world how to play against this style here of Ravager Baneling, hitting at just the perfect time. Much like in the previous games. One more Storm is going to land and Showtime's just got too much supply. GG gets called. And he does it. He puts Germany with a 3-1 score in the lead here.
And Finland already having to revive one of their players. We'll see if they decide to go for Wellmu or Cyril. Depends on how they feel about this game. Probably the next map. Well, the next map is following maps after a loss are actually loser's choice. So they will be able to decide which one is the easier to go for. If they go for Cyril or if they go for Wellmu, I don't think we'll see Zhuge again, even though he's the only one to take a map. You need to take into account that they need to beat not only Showtime, but probably Showtime twice, and also at the same time Hero Marine. So that's quite a bit to go for. And that last attack, that was brilliant from Cyril, but he needed those connections on those Templars, because with all those Storms, I think this army is just too weak in terms of HP.
I mean, if this army of Protoss clumps up and you blow up everything at once, then obviously you're going to be able to win at Zerg, but Showtime split well enough and hits good enough Storms there that I think he wasn't going to lose. Zealots were taking out the 4th base while he was taking his own 5th base. Like, this guy just does everything right, it feels like, and then he knows how to close out these games. Just being super solid, which is, again, what he's known for. That was a really good game here.
What a boss, and what a really, really cool last fight.
Very educational, even though I feel like if I tried this, I would fail super hard. Like, I'd hit and like Broodlings would start landing on my army. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm not Showtime. I don't know the timing. But no, very nicely done here by him for sure.
And putting his team in a really, really great position, because with the 3-1 lead, we mentioned it, there's going to be a revive. But you still have Hero Marine to go. You still have a revive if something goes wrong. So we'll see in a couple of seconds before we go to break who's going to be the revived player for Finland. I would go with Cyril, I think, considering...
Yeah, most likely.
He has to take 3 points. Like, if they want to make it to the winner's match, they have to take 3 points. They can't just, think about... Wellmu can take him in PvP, but then what happens if he has to go in PvT, for instance?
Yeah, and also like that person would have to beat Showtime again. Yeah, it's pretty tough. Like, I have to say, like, whoever is sent out there is gonna have it's gonna be a tall order for him. Cyril or Wellmu most likely. Let's see. It is Cyril. Yeah.
It is.
No surprise.
Cyril, so the Zerg player you just seen played against Showtime that did lose in the end, but did a really, really cool game, and especially considering how much of a beating he took in the mid-game, I think he did super well afterwards.
Yeah.
But really, really great play. We will see that PVZ again. This will be after the break. Before we go into it, don't hesitate to send us tweets, pictures of how you watch Nation Wars, how you're enjoying the tournament so far with the hashtag NW4. And in terms of teams, if you think that Germany will take it, now it's a good time to actually say it, because they win 3-1 at the moment. But
if someone has a very dirty desk, should they still send a picture?
Yes, they
of
should.
Their desk and how they're watching.
And we will tell them how to make it, better and cleaner. We will do that.
Really? But
on
your
air.
desk is pretty dirty.
How did you see my desk? Did you really see my desk?
Cigarette butts and
no, not even.
and
I'm not a smoker anymore. It's over.
What?
It is over. E-cig, mate. I'm trying to be healthy, you know. So yeah, a little bit better, you know. Let's go for a 2-minute commercial break, and when we come back, it's a PVZ again, the rematch between Showtime and Cyril. Don't go anywhere. And we are back, everyone. Germany versus Finland, and at the moment it looks a little bit like this. You know, Germany taking down Finland quite hard with a 3-1 lead. Showtime just being his normal self, which is a baller.
Yeah, he's playing really well. You know what Nation Wars really lacks, by the way?
Tell me.
Awards. A Stefano Award for the player that won the tournament but did the worst for his team.
Ah, I like it.
An MVP would be pretty obvious.
Of course. I think
what else would we need?
we mentioned
a Best Ceremony Award, which Jurgeliang definitely wouldn't have won. Maybe Huck, last one.
Huck was really good.
It was really good.
It was good. It was not totally politically correct, but it was really nice at the same time. I do agree with you that Huck did super well. I do agree.
We should do it.
That award.
Winners get a baguette.
Yeah, but the golden baguette, no? Like, you know, fake gold, but... You know,
That's what she said.
Golden baguette.
We're headed to Heko for this PVZ, which is going to be very different than Whirlwind. Much smaller map, usually more action-packed. Even though, like I said, like on 3 bases, it wasn't an all-in from Showtime, but he went for the right aggression. It put him ahead. And here we are, starting at the top left-hand side of the map, playing as the Blue Zerg. It's, of course, Cyril. Dual kill.
Cyril needs to do it for his team and do it for his country if he wants to make it to the winners match, which obviously is a little bit helpful in the bottom right. It is the German god, Showtime. As Red Protoss took first game, even though it was cross positions and there were some pretty cute play from Cyril. Didn't look bad at all, but still was a little bit flabbergasted by how well Showtime was playing. And
he just joined Arma team and he's already doing them proud.
Yeah.
This is what happens.
I can see myself cheering for Arma team player. I just like the
you
time.
did in the past.
Like I did in the past. My old self. My 16-year-old or 14-year-old
Who
self.
are your favorite players?
In Warcraft 3?
No, like any game, yeah. Moment.
No, I did like Intox quite a bit. Even though I was a Night Elf, you know my favorite player in Warcraft 3 days was you. You know that, right?
Stop lying.
It is. It is. I used to be a huge fanboy. Ask any of my in real life friends from this day. They were like, who the hell is this Todd guy? Like, who's this American dude? Like, no. He's French and he plays Warcraft 3. Oh, you mean video games that you play all day? And that we don't hang out with you anymore because of him? They were a little
and that's why you got rid of those friends now.
Yeah, I got rid of them.
With us.
You know, not my friends anymore. You should love the Todd. And they could be sitting at my place right now. Just sitting next to him. Living the dream.
Oh, snap.
Of the esports. The esports dream.
Flattery.
Oh, yeah. That's my best strategy to make my co-caster feel comfortable. I do the same with Roddy.
It's not hard to flatter Roddy. Actually, it is kind of hard because everybody flatters him. Because he's so handsome and he has it all.
Yeah, you need to put the extra work to make it flattery that he didn't hear already this week. You know, Speedling a little bit late to the party from Cyril, just cutting it a little bit to get that super quick third hatchery.
And another Stargate opener. I guess when you are as good with the Stargate units as Showtime, makes sense to go for it. Although in the previous game he killed 2 drones and then lost his Oracle. I'm pretty sure he's going to be aiming to do better here with this. Oh, wow.
Dumb drone.
It
worked. Dumb drone. Yeah, it worked. That Adep got that drone, but at the same time, his co-worker, the other drone, just blocked him a little bit and prevented him from, morphing itself, I guess, in a spore. That drone is down, and that's a little bit sad. The early game tango of PVZ Adept versus Drones and Queen went the Protoss way, and Showtime will answer to that super quick third hatchery with a third Nexus of his own. Cut on the Mothership core quite a bit, wasn't really scary about any aggression in the beginning, going for the quick Stargate, and that Oracle will have the same fate
Yeah, actually, there's a second one on the way, and I have to say, Cyril's been on point so far with his scouting. He saw the target on perfect time, made the spores on time, and this time, if he micro as well, might not lose a single drone, which definitely would be nice. The second Oracle makes me very curious, though, how much does Showtime actually wants to commit to this? 2 more gates on the way now.
Right, yeah, 2 more probes too. 44 will be the number when this round actually finishes. Void Ray as the follow-up.
Wow.
He did get dropped quite a bit in the last game. I guess this would make a little bit of sense to have patrolling Void Rays towards the third and natural to avoid getting blasted by banelings. When I look at Echo in a PvZ, I always have, I always remind of it was Hero versus Rogue.
Look at his micro, man. Putting Schumacher to shame.
Okay, first queen gonna go down, probably the second one. Will he actually try to get this one? No, we'll pull back.
Hey, you were making a point, man?
Yeah, you remember that game between, it was Rogue and Hero in the Pro League?
I think of that game
Pro
every
League
night.
playoffs with an amazing build with lots of
sweats.
baning drop in the face of Hero. I always remember this map with this, like PvZ Echo reminds me of this, like raining banelings from the sky on top of the army, super old school style. It was a really great map to watch. And at the moment...
Oh yeah, it was. I cried.
Yeah, you cried?
Because Protoss was never the same after we got destroyed by Bailing ever
What I remember is the force fields from Hero were so perfect, but also so useless.
In trapping his army, they were
trapping his own army next to Overlords that will actually spew Banelings in their face instantly. Going for the Spire again. He likes that Spire, Cyril, that is. Where is it?
The thing that makes actually this Bailing style so effective is that force fields nowadays can be broken, and also the fact that Colossus were changed so much that you don't go for that core army of Mass Blink Stalkers, Colossus and force fields, because back then, if you would go for Bailing drops, then there was the thing that I call the Naniwa micro, where you force field the Zerg army away, and then if Overlords are chasing you, you just shoot them, pull back, shoot them, pull back, and then you'll be shooting down Overlords with Bailings inside of them, kind of for free for the most part. And that style just wouldn't work, but Colossus are not nearly as strong, and then, I mean, if you go for them, then you're exposed to, kind of just losing to Vipers or really anything, to be honest. So...
Even Lurkers actually do quite well.
Yeah,
against,
or an earlier
Colossus.
timing, like, it's just kind of hard to get to and stay alive.
Okay, those are pretty exposed sentries, not gonna go for it. He did try to get some force field out of him, but for now, Showtime just being cool as hell, and not losing anything except that lone Void Ray in the middle of the map.
Yeah, that's pretty bad actually. You want to keep that alive if you can, to patrol around your bases against potential Overlord drops. We see +2 on the way. Centrifugal hooks and a Hydralist then. And since he's facing Charge and a Templar Archive, which I'm guessing is going to be for some Archons there. I like Cyril's position a lot here in this game.
It's pretty good at the moment, just losing a little bit.
I mean, if he queues Baning drops in multiple bases at once and starts killing probes, he's going to be in a great position to just kind of mass Hydralisks and finish the game, especially because like in this game, it's not like Showtime so far has been able to do a lot of economic damage. Remember last game, like he was 20 walkers ahead at this stage in the game. Right now, he's actually behind on the walker counts.
Yeah, 68 to 66 economy-wise, just a little bit close. Those force fields were on point. Zealots just closing the wall. And this was just a beating of those Zerglings, just giving out some free units and some free lava, to be honest, because that's a resource that you need to take into account when you play Zerg. With the way those units are getting produced, those Hydralists could get a kill on that last Oracle. Will fly out of there alive, getting a 4th base at the same time. Showtime getting a little bit of map presence in the middle of the map. And for Cyril, I kind of agree with you. That strategy and that state that he is in is pretty nice. Hydralisk and an upgrade for those Hydralisks coming in against a really quick Storm, and that's the difference from. I think he got it a little bit slower last game, Showtime.
Yeah.
Now he knows that he will face Hydralisk. He didn't get the bait on the Spire. Just didn't go for that many Phoenixes. Only 3.
Are we going to see Lurkers here? That's the big question, because if you just stick to Zergling, Baneling and Hydralisks, then if the Protoss maxes out, it's the same story as we talked about before. You're stuck on kind of on lair tech, and it's going to be very hard, to be honest, to deal with this army, especially because of Storm and Immortals dealing very well with all of this. So
At the same time,
they're going to synergize very, very well. So Cyril going for the infestation pit, I think if he just goes for Hive and gets a bunch of lurkers in the meantime, keeps on expanding and plays his game, I think he might be able to do well. But Showtime looks like he might be hitting timing here in a second.
Yeah, he will try to go back to that 4th base. At the same time, some banelings getting morphed in, but it's been seen, even the drop alert has been scouted from the Protoss player. 4th base gonna go down again, so it was cancelled a little bit earlier thanks to that massive amount of Zerglings. And at the moment, no Hydralisk inside, no lurkers inside. Baneling Hydras, some drops at the same time on the left side. The Phoenix will actually see that Overlord. So that drop is going to be super hard to pull off. Needs to drop the banelings.
Pick up already.
Yeah. Needs to drop the banelings because he will lose the Overlord.
I think Showtime just dropped the reveal in the main base of Cyril, right? Yeah. Wants to make sure he knows when that Hive finishes. And actually, force fields are going to be great there. There is no Ravagers.
Alright, no Ravagers, lots of Idolists, lots of Zerglings gonna go from 2
There is
fronts.
not many sentries though, it's only 2 and that timing is very, very strong. You have Banelings get some good detonations onto the Zealots.
Tots, oh nice,
Merry
nice.
Christmas.
Yeah, that's probably a connection with a pretty cute storm when this goes out and a drop Baneling on the 3rd base. 18 probes gonna go down. That's a really great pickup from Cyril. And in this position, does Cyril really have to attack? Oh, Storm was a little bit early, to be honest.
Oh.
Is he going to lose some Templars?
Oh
He loses 3, he loses 4. That was terrible. That was just terrible from Showtime. And
he's falling apart here a little bit.
Yeah. That was awful. That was awful.
I mean, he's down to 58 probes. He now starts Tempest production. I think he knows that he's not going to be able to fight this army anytime soon and win the game before Broodlords are going to be out, so he's going to go for Broodlords now. This force field. I can do it.
Reminds me of the thing in the Baneling challenge. What was that? That was the Raynor party. You know the
Starcraft Master?
No. Did you play Raynor party?
No.
There's a level where you have to avoid banelings in some kind of labyrinth or something. You need to force field everywhere. It looked exactly like that. Zealot's gonna charge into those Hydralisks, and on the right side, lots of units. Nice split against that first storm, but there's still plenty more to go. I would say 4 to 5, I guess. The right side is gonna get blown up in the top. Those banelings running in. Oh, he stays in. He stays in and loses a lot of units. Those banelings, they need to connect with something before dying, and that was a perfect defense from Showtime. Maybe butchered this attack a little bit from Cyril's
They still traded though. Like Cyril killed a lot of the army of Showtime, who's now looking to maybe counterattack. No. I think you should just regroup. Like, you know that the Zerg reproduction is super fast. Like, as much as there is warp gates from Protoss, Cyril is always going to have a lot of lava available here. Remake a lot of Banelings and Zerglings instantly. And it's one of those games where it feels like as Protoss you can't really attack, especially because he's going for Tempest, which kind of, they take a long time to produce, rejoin the rest of the army. So it's going to be a slower game here from this point onwards, where Showtime's just kind of turtling, might go even for an actual mothership.
Yeah.
And he's just trying to get the perfect composition here to deal with what he thinks is going to be thrown at him.
So he's got a couple of Immortals, couple of Tempest, I think 4 to 5 at the moment. Some Storms also, I think that's a Baneling run by coming to that base. Nice reaction time.
Oh my god, how did he react so fast?
Yeah, really nice reaction. On the top side, the drop has been filled. It's going to go towards the 3rd base again. Can he deal the same amount of damage? Remember, he was 18 back then. Does he realize? Yes, he does. Really nice.
He's
really
still gonna
nice.
kill quite a few probes actually.
Yep.
Which is very annoying because every time you have to remake those, resaturate those bases and gases perfectly. But nicely done by Showtime here, hitting a couple bases at once.
Yeah,
with some Zealots, which are, I mean, he can't afford to lose these. Like, those are very inexpensive. Oh! Go for the force fields.
That's a really nice stasis. This time, don't storm it. Just surround it with Archons. Yeah, that's a little bit better.
Should have just force fielded them, force fielded them in that, like in that video with the guy with the pad.
Oh yeah.
That's so funny.
You
on
can
Daybreak.
do it with the pad, yeah, of course. It was a great GIF. I loved it.
Plus 3 melee actually just finished just now for Cyril, so definitely nice.
Glance. Sorry, Sorinal Glance. Attack speed for those Zerglings. And I like that Cyril's showing us a little bit of what he's shown us Nation Wars 3. Lots of Zerglings, lots of counterattack, drops to the side. It was on a different map back then. It was
some Broodlords as well.
Yeah, he did some Broodlords at the end, but it was all about that attack everywhere, and those Zerglings with nice upgrades that will take out and really destroy super fast new bases from Protoss. I don't really know about those Broodlords though. Like, there's a lot of Tempest already on the field, right? Like, that's 4, 5, 6, 7 Tempests.
I wonder what Cyril plans on getting to counter those. Like, usually you can get like a bunch of Queens, some Ravagers and stuff. It's all about you blowing up the Banelings on the ground super fast and then trying to deal with what's left of the Protoss army. But
it's gonna counterattack. And
yeah, actually, that's a lot
everywhere.
of links with super sick upgrades here. They're 3-2, they've got Adrenal Glands.
Yeah, 3-2 is Adrenal Glands. They're gonna, shred everything. Those Zealots are already dead, but the Stasis actually working pretty well. Those units actually just stuck in place. Not gonna go for anything more. Those probes are totally dead. 12, and that will rise to probably about 20 at the same time. Some units getting blown up. What's going on with those Banelings? Okay, 21. Economy-wise, Showtime not doing super well, but this army will be super
and Showtime
hard to
will go
destroy.
for the attack. Like, he's gonna use again his lack of probes to his advantage. He's got 150 army supply against 118, and there's not that many Broodlords out just yet. This army on the top right-hand side is trapped.
Yeah.
You can't leave.
Okay, Broodlords actually getting scouted with this Archon getting blown up by those early Broodlords. Some Corruptors in the back. How many exactly? We got 12 Corruptors against 8 Tempest and 5 Archons on the ground. Don't underestimate the potency of Archons with +3 attack, I believe. With all that,
and again a counter attack from Zerglings here, which is gonna trigger the big attack from Showtime. I don't think Cyril can fight there.
Okay, he will try. He will go back for a little bit. Those Broodlords for now not getting hit by the Tempest. Nice storms on Hydralisk and Banelings at the same time. We'll have to pull back from this base, maybe save a couple of drones.
The High Templars are dying. In which case, Hydralisks are going to be able to do well against this army. Corruptors finally moving. They're going to get stormed on top of here.
Okay, only one Archon remaining. This one is actually down. And now, those Tempests losing the fight against Corruptors. He has more storms. He needs to storm those Corruptors.
Yeah, a lot of the army of Cyril wasn't attacking here for the longest time. Those Hydralisks and Broodlords as well. Now Lynx fighting Zealots in the middle of the map. The economy of Showtime has been wrecked, but so has been the one of Cyril, who lost 33 drones here just now.
Yeah, 33 drones in the midst of all of this. In
and
the bottom left.
Bottom left that he's transferring probes to right now. This could be the winning move here by Showtime.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right, because if that base does not get scouted, because that's the funny thing about it. The only thing that makes this base being able to be mined from is just being the secrecy, because you send 4 Zerglings with +3 attack and Adrenal Glands, and you will shrek that base and shrek that economy. At the same time, some Phoenixes, they are super important in this game. But every single unit is important.
How is Showtime going to deal with the Broodlords? There's a bunch of them. It's not that many yet, but Corruptors are going to take out any air unit that he has, and he doesn't have too much anti-air here right now. So I think Cyril is looking to try and fight here very soon against this army. The mobility is in Showtime's favor for the first time in this game. Remember, he was the one being run by Zerglings the whole game. Now he's got a ton of Zealots and Immortal. This is crazy here.
He needs to do something with them, and probably find that base in the top right. The bottom left base has been scouted from Cyril.
That Spire is dead if he attacks it.
I don't think Cyril minds too much. He will just send some Zerglings and Hydralisk to this base. That pylon is going to get sniped. Recall with some probes, and that Mothership Core makes it out alive, so he will keep a little bit of economy.
But the Broodlords are coming back, though. They are going to kill this entire army.
Yeah. I'm liking Cyril's position. 74 to 74 army supply. Just 2 Phoenixes and some Storms being able to do the work. 1 Archon goes down. That Broodlord is in the red, but those Corruptors just saving the day.
Showtime has no economy. I think Cyril's done it here. This army can't do anything against the Broodlords and Corruptors. Keep in mind, the Corruptors could go and snipe some of these bases of Showtime. Or buildings.
Yeah,
and he's still mining. I think Cyril's done it here. It's going to be so hard for Showtime to win from there. He's getting blinked, but he doesn't even have the minerals or the income to get that many Stalkers. Okay, he's got 4. A 5th one on the way. How many Broodlords is it? 7.
7 Broodlords against only a tiny bit of anti-air. 5 Stalkers, 1 Phoenix, 1 Archon, 1 Tempest, and that's it. That's all she wrote, and that's going to be super hard for Showtime.
Should try to eliminate Cyril, maybe, if he gets all of his buildings somehow.
All right. Finds the base, gonna go for the attack. Some probes dying in the background, but that's not too bad, because that's the only remaining income. But we're talking about like really tiny economy in this game, so the units in play are actually what matters here. And those Zerglings getting for some wraparound, could get some immortals maybe. Just gonna go for the probe. Both players not mining that much.
How many? Is there any minerals left on the third base of Showtime? I think not that many.
Well, he lost probably 40 probes on this base, so that's the reason he still has minerals.
He's got 1 Tempest and 1 Phoenix as air units against the 14 Corruptors on the ground. Or as anti-air, it's 1 Archon and 7 Stalkers against 7 Broodlords. If he gets a couple more Stalkers, say like 10, gets his army on the ground to do the tanking at the front, and takes out all of the Broodlords and still has leftovers, he might be able to win. But I mean, Cyril on the ground, he's got a bunch of Zerglings, he's got a couple Hydralisks as well.
He's got
and Showtime just warped in Zealots here to react to the Zerglings, so that's going to be even less Stalkers that he can warp in now.
Yeah, he's got a...
He's going to recall, actually.
Huge mobility advantage with those Zerglings and those amazing upgrades. Some drones dying, that was...
it's so tempting to throw away units here if you're Showtime, but he shouldn't. He should just recall, keep his army alive. Actually, he's splitting up a little bit. The mothership is sniped. And he's moving in
this is
position
so close, he will have to recall, he will hug the wall, but gets the mothership core out! No recall for you, sir, and now you'll get fungled on a ramp against Broodlord with no anti-air, double fungal, the Blink Stalkers actually make it out. That was a really cute Blink timing, but he will lose all the Immortals in the process, and with it the game, Cyril actually helps his team staying alive. GG. Really great play from Cyril this game. Both players, to be honest.
Yeah, great ending here. And Cyril, his crisis management was better than Showtime's there, who was forced into playing passive because of the way the game was going. That one baiting drop that killed 18 probes, usually when that happens, you're pretty sad as Protoss and you know that you're in a lot of trouble. And I think that's what happened there. Sadly for Showtime, he was unable to have the right moves after that. Really nicely done by Cyril. Very impressive game for sure here.
See, when you talk about it, like the economy of Cyril being as in shambles as Showtime's one, I was like, I've seen this game too many times. Like Broodlords in this Broodlords at this stage of the game, Echo being super hard to defend from every single angle.
I thought that the army of Showtime was going to be able to do better when he attacked at 12 o'clock because he has 150 army against like 120 or something. But I think Cyril handled the situation beautifully. He pulled back. He made sure that Showtime was attacking those buildings. Even though the attacking now, I think, was right because he was almost maxed out. Showtime wasn't yet, and he got some 6 trades. Showtime messed up here.
He messed up big time.
Losing this many Templars, he's not supposed to happen.
And that fight doesn't happen like pretty quickly after that. And as you mentioned, it was a great defense considering Showtime lost so many Templars, but they traded, and it made it for Cyril the opportunity to go into those Broodlords.
This army of Showtime had the potential to make the army of Cyril that attacked into him foolish if he handled it perfectly, but for the first time he kind of messed up a fight, and then from there, I mean, Cyril was just relentless, kept on sending banings in here. This was the big blow to the economy of Showtime, where he fell to a very low walker count for the longest time.
Yeah,
it's funny actually that base bottom left wasn't a hidden base, it was just the next base that he wanted to take, because he already had the one in the middle, and then the last fungal here at the end onto those Immortals, which meant that the Stalkers were basically going to be alone against ground units plus the Broodlords. Definitely not going to be enough, so he had to tap out.
Instantly probably by those remaining Zerglings, and with the economy online from Zerg, this game was totally over. Cyril helps Finland get a second point, this is now 3-2 between those two nations, and means that we will see a Terran player, because the last remaining player for Germany is Hero Marine. Thank you for that amazing timing. So ZVT to follow it up.
The best race finally comes out.
Yeah,
it's time to show the less technology advanced races. Who's in charge? Actually, Protoss is much more technology advanced than Terran.
Yeah, totally. So, what do we expect from Hero Marine? I haven't been that active, I would say, on Starcraft these days. They will be playing on Daybreak, which is like quite an iconical map for Starcraft 2 in general, stuck around in the map pool for ages, and obviously a really well mapped out map for those two players. We will see about the technology and the tech path they will be using in this map, but we will take a look at your tweets, I believe. There's been one from Zugalion: "My faith is not touched. Cyril will prevail."
He's rehearsing his ceremony right now, isn't he?
If Cyril actually makes us win this game, I will be able to do my ceremony, so I do have faith. Makes sense from Zugalion. We've seen that tweet a little bit differently, it was cute.
Yeah, Daybreak for the longest time was known as being a Zerg map against Terran. I feel like maybe it doesn't apply as much, and obviously it was when the Broodlords were reigning supreme back then. Elron posted on Facebook watching at Nation Wars Starcraft 2 on that was a 60-inch plasma screen.
That was a pretty huge
Are you kidding
screen.
me? That is massive.
Nathan is asking himself, Nation Wars, Uniwork or Funka? Well, you actually decided you did both. That's really great.
No, but he's not working. He's only watching the stream.
Aww. Vladimir Volok tells us that he loves us, and that's an amazing pose. You should actually try out this one.
That's a sick TV, clock, and speakers as well.
Yeah. Everything
good
in this photo is amazing.
And
Thank you so much, Vladimir. So keep them coming if you're having a good time, if you're enjoying yourself, eating some great food, or I don't know, like.
You can tell this is new though on the English stream, because on the French food, usually when I watch your gaming, they have the sickest,
all the time,
fanciest. Like a guy, for example, will have a plate of cheese, wine bottle.
Yeah, of course.
And then
Set
the
up.
TV with the stream, and that's the kind of pictures that like those Frenchies usually send.
Oh yeah.
I love it, man.
Oh yeah, they do it so well, and especially when we are hungry, that's like the hardest thing. Like you mentioned that you're hungry in a cast once, you've got everybody in the chat like, okay, let's go tweet.
Hawaiian pizza and
Yeah,
stream.
So don't hesitate to react on Twitter, #NW4, send us your
I'm actually
pictures,
hungry.
send us your tweets. Huh?
I'm actually hungry.
I am also.
So don't show me too many photos with food.
Yeah, don't worry. Production will actually, just send you everything. It's getting worse and worse for Deutschland, for Germany. 51% against 49%.
Yeah, but Finland is finally doing better now
Yeah.
as well, with
I
Cell
guess it
coming
makes
in
sense.
and beating Showtime. So we'll see if he can do it. Obviously, Cell still has to go through Hero Marine and then a revived player from Germany if he wins. Hero Marine, again, like I think also against Zerg is pretty darn good. So even though it's Daybreak, I don't think he will be too uncomfortable. But Cyril, he's playing really well, I think. Like in the first game that he had against Showtime, I wasn't a big fan of the way he played, but in that last one he really made up for it.
ZVT, I guess a matchup that will be, especially on Daybreak, I think it's a map that you can play Mutiling Bane on, which is something probably that our good friend Cyril enjoys, because he does play Muta in ZVP, he does play some Corruptor, late game oriented kind of style. So I
mean, every Zerg likes to use Mutas, right?
Yeah, that's just the most annoying unit in the entire game, obviously. Let's go! The first Terran of the Knights for Germany is the red Terran. Last hope, not really for Germany, because Showtime can be revived. This is Hero Marine! Let's see what he has in store for us.
His opponent, playing as the Blue Zerg, is of course Cyril. It's epic. It's time for Hatch first on Daybreak. Make yourself at home, because you're at home on this map.
Yeah, gonna go for the hatchery first, which is something we don't see every single game because of the threat of Reaper plays in the early game. Hero Marine is kind of a player that would strike me as a Reaper player, because it's all about control. It's got amazing micro, it's lots of splits, and obviously if you're good at micro, you're also good at managing those early Reapers. Right there, the opening not really telling us that he's going to go for that strategy, just going to go for one Reaper, orbital command, and then CC, so Reaper expand for
it might be image related. Here, the build that we saw from Cyril, it's not like the greediest thing, but I think if you face Marine Lord or Kelazur, for example, you might want to be a little bit more shy in the play.
Thermal.
Yeah, thermal as well.
There's probably a post-it note just next to every single Zerg player computer, is like, make a spawning pool first against those guys, and maybe like the barcodes of all those guys with the pictures and everything, so they know they won't lose like 3 points in ladder.
What about Haz? What post-it note do you have?
Don't believe his lies. That's what's written on it. 100%. It's like, no, you've seen a Stargate, but you're gonna get attacked by immortals. You know it.
Yeah, but the one time you don't believe him, he tells the truth.
Oh yeah, that's a fucked up thing. Haas is just, there's nothing you can do against him except just trying to play your best and be super diligent into in terms of scouting and everything. But yeah, I think you put it better. Like, you need to pray. You need to pray super hard that it doesn't just destroy your brain with a random ass strategy. The CC is going to end up for our Terran player, and the follow-up will be that infamous 2-on-1, because we've seen it second racks, right? Yeah, second rack. So this is going to be the Steam drop timing against a technology that has not been chosen that much from Cyril. I guess like no roach wiring at the moment. He does have link speed, but I guess like squeezing link speed is not a really good idea. Like you do want it to have some map control, being able to react to a drop fast, but you might also need some roaches because he's not producing a huge amount of queens from what I can tell. So you either need like lots of queens or lots of links and banes, and you can still get outplayed by like nice targeting from Terran players. See any game that Beyond played.
Why isn't everybody playing mech though? I've been watching Innovation stream, and every time I tune in, I see a bunch of Cyclones killing everything.
But you remember what he said during the interview? The fact that his style works because I am Innovation. Like, you can't do it.
That was totally made up by Kailaris, by the way.
yeah. It was the greatest interview of all time, and the greatest live translation I've ever seen from Kailaris. We actually got super good at translating Korean.
He learned it there in 2 days.
Yeah, easy. Well, he's not hanging out that much, so he has time to, to learn anything about language and everything. You know?
Sick job. Alright, double Evo on the way here for Cyril. And I think, again, like if it goes to the later stages of the game, even though, it's TVZ and stuff, like I really think that Cyril is one of the best players out there on the high econ and, 4 or 5 bases. Like, oh yeah, you tell me, of course, most Zergs are, but no, I think Cyril in particular.
Yeah, he strikes me as a really sick macro Zerg player. Hero Marine will go for what I call the Jin-Air transition, which is double eBay. Like slightly later first eBay, but you actually drop 2 at the same time. Gonna go for double upgrade before the third CC, which makes it for a better late game oriented plan and a really nice 1-1 timing that goes in afterwards. We'll drop 1 more mine, so the second drop will probably be 6 Marines and 1 mine. We'll see where he decides to go. 4 Queens and a couple of Zerglings, no Roaches, no Banelings. I think Cyril is gonna take damage here. And that's already damage. Like for those 3-4 Creep Dreamers getting sniped.
He's gonna have to drop them right back down.
Which means the Queens will be out of position if he decides to go for it right now.
He's forcing, actually, like if he was to force another scan, I guess that's like a small victory in itself, especially with that third CC being delayed. Like there's gonna be less mules being used early on, so still squeezing up a few drones here and there.
Okay, so going for the the second wave of drop with the 6 Marines and 1 mine probably will gather up. The shield is a little bit late.
Did he scan for this just now?
No.
Okay,
no.
I was like, that's like the shortest scan I've ever seen.
Like I want this tumor. I want this one. I don't care about the other one. So lots of Link Banes. 1-1 is about to finish for Zerg, and a macro hatchery to get that number up to 4, which means the larva is not going to be that much of an issue. +1 will finish in a couple of seconds. I love how like super cautious Hero Marine has been. Like not taking any trades against Queens. Those medivacs are all almost in full HP, and that means a lot in this kind of games.
A lot of Zergs would have made a mistake of actually engaging off crate here into him, and I think that's what Hero Marine is waiting for, especially with that Widow Mine there that could get a huge connection. But he's staying patient with it, and he's got some trades here and there. Killed a few units, removed the crate tumors from that third base. If he just keeps on sieging in the whole base, that's going to become super relevant.
Oh, nice timing on the armory for Hero Marine. Will not get stuck after 1-1. That's nice. That overload on the third might hurt a little bit, to be honest, because
it's a perfect.
hasn't been scouted at all. So when that CC will land, it will actually fly out. Oh, okay, I can't land here. Need some help. Actually, tiny bit late armory, probably a couple of seconds later. We'll see the 1-1 is now done, and the armor will be in a couple of seconds, 10 probably. Opposite side, can he get some targeting done on those Banelings? Not at all. Nice round from Cyril.
I think it's still a perfect game, by the way, from Hero Marine, so doing a very good job of not over-engaging early on. As I said, he's going to use the Reaper. He's not like you on Street Fighter anymore.
Yeah, not at all.
Only perfect.
Oh yeah, I only do this. Oh, a nice play at the last possible moment from Cyril, because he could have lost like a really huge amount of units right there. That overload getting cleaned out.
I guess Cyril's going to do a bunch of run-bys into that third base. Down the line,
Fourth
right?
base is going to get cancelled. Super well positioned from, and actually not even a cancel. That was a destroyed archery. I like Hero Marine's play. Like I like how he does it and plays super cautious. Doesn't lose that many units. Gonna go for a little bit of targeting. And look at those medivacs. Like he lost probably.
And
only
Cyril's
one
not
Marine.
ready at this for this at all here.
Yeah.
Big drop in the main base. That's going to be starting to do a lot of damage. There's a spore there, but the Widowmine's going to burrow as well. He's going to re-attack into that fourth base, I'm sure. At the same time, two drones start dying. Hero Marine threatening Finland here in this
Amazing
first match.
connection. This is not looking well at all from Cyril. At the same time, in the top, those are Banelings, but the nice pickup and even dropping some Marines in the on the go and getting some more Banelings done, but not even nice micro from Cyril. At the same time, this drop probably will get taken down. No, nice micro once again. Hero Marine playing super fast this game and being super cautious with his units.
And he killed some very important drones here. He brought the worker counts closer to even for a moment. And there's going to be less units as well going out on the map here for Cyril, who's still trying to defend and make sure he can secure that fourth base here in a second. He's got Hive on the way now. Both players going to complete 2-2 momentarily. Cyril's already got it, pretty much.
Yeah, going straight to Hive without stopping on the the Spire phase of the game means that those drops are actually not touched by anything but Queens and Spores, which are heavily out microable. So I really like what Hero Marine is doing right now, adding 3 more Raxes. He does need to hit a timing before, because considering there's no Muta on the way, no Spire, all that gas still remains in Cyril's pockets, and if he doesn't kill him right there, those Ultralisks that will come in eventually will be really hard to deal with.
Ooh, that bunker there is gonna come in handy against this Zergling counterattack with a couple of Banelings as well.
Oh, Banelings will blow up everything, that bunker. Just remaining right there, but at the same time just progressing in the middle of the map. Is there enough Banelings for Cyril? The pre-split from our German player, decent enough. He needs to split some more. Only 3 SCVs dying in the background, which is not that much.
So many Widow Mines here with this that it's super scary for Cyril to actually engage into this. Remember, he's just Zergling Bane with a couple of Queens in support, and Hero Marine is going to pile on with the aggression. He's got almost... I was going to say double. Actually, Cyril just made a couple of units, but he's 110 army supply against 70 right now.
I'm scared for Finland.
Favor.
Scared for Finland, scared for Cyril. 115-78, as you mentioned, those mines uprooting a little bit, just going for the Zelnaga Tower. Liberator just closing out that ramp on the left side, and just going to circumvent the entirety of the creep, actually. Just going to go for the right side. Really tactical play from Hero Marine. He doesn't want to fight that amount of Banelings on creep, so we'll go for a different position, and all those mines behind the fog. That's gonna be super hard to deal with for Cyril. He needs a perfect fight, and those mines on the right side connecting with so many lanes, so many Banes. The splits are not perfect from the German player, and actually Cyril might be able to clear that out. Those last mines connecting with lots of Lings and Banes, but super nice defense from Cyril.
Yeah, he's down to 12 Banelings though against Tian, still ahead in the army supply.
13 kill on that Liberator. Mostly Zerglings probably, but still did a really great job. But still, no fourth base though from Hero Marine.
Yeah, he might fly his orbital command to the middle of the map, I guess, in a moment.
Middle of the map, there's army clashing. Okay, some Zerglings dying.
And I don't think, was there 3-3 started ever?
Can we show the prediction tab for just a bit? Yeah, lots of upgrades actually going from Cyril.
+3 attack.
Yeah, oh yeah, just +3 defense against +3 attack, +3 defense, chitinous plating, and the upgrades for Zerglings.
Are sure gonna tank those Banelings, aren't they?
Okay, that's one of the last opportunity I feel for Hero Marine to make a huge difference, because with the fourth base just still mining from Cyril and all those upgrades, they'll let it home.
If this is held there, this might be the game win for Cyril. He's morphing in more Banelings. Hero Marine is going to pile on here with more reinforcements coming in from across the map. 130 in army supply to 64. And it looks like he's breaking through right now.
He is
able
breaking
to take
through.
out that base and all the drones.
There's a lot of Marines and Marauders actually coming from the map from the south side. Look at this. The surround is actually coming in. Those Ultralisks, they don't have chitinous plating. He needs to kite them out
a lot. Transfuse.
With the mines connecting and a lot of transfuse, as you mentioned, on those Queens. Those Ultralisks are not actually dying, and chitinous plating will be done in 3 seconds.
The Suppy Ultras.
What a super tense game. Hero Marine.
There's not many transfuses left though, only a single one of them, and he needs an overseer here to remove those mines. The upgrades just finishing so late, it feels like for Cyril.
Okay, 3-3 is about to come out, but only 3-2 on those Marines and Marauders. Not that many Marauders, to be honest, to deal with those Ultralists that now have full armor. 3-3 just finished, and the Chitin is plating, but so many mines. Nice targeting with those Banelings, getting 5 mines at the same time, and those Ultralists, can they clear out? Sick micro from Cyril. He's holding on. He has more army supply at the moment, just losing a couple of Ultralists, so going down a little bit. But what a defense! Cyril, what a god! That was so sick.
Hold with just a couple units, mostly those 3 Ultras cleared out everything.
That was so sick.
And what do you know? No drones died here during this attack. Finally, the main orbital was flown elsewhere for Hero Marine, but Hero Marine committed everything he had to this. That was almost like an all-in here, so to speak.
Oh,
it was a timing, but he stayed on 2-2. He only started the +3 armor, I think, by accident.
That's definitely a mistake. Like, you would never go for +3 defense over +3 attack aggressivity. Well,
like
ever,
this
to be honest.
This is not good, clearly, for Hero Marine here.
Oh, yeah.
From there, Cyril can just start being more aggressive across the map with Zerglings. And his economy now on 5 bases is just going to be great.
Well, and especially considering he defend, that's a really nice move. Those Liberators, they don't have any really whatsoever unit to defend them. Those Queens will come in eventually.
Spire is super late.
Yeah, no Spire. Maybe something can come out from those Liberator plays. He needs one in the top left. At the same time, Zerglings with 3-3 upgrades and Adrenaline Glands wrecking that base. Those Marines, they wish they were dead because they got destroyed by those Zerglings, and still building some more damage with this. This is not expensive at all for Cyril.
And he can keep on doing that all over the place.
This is almost 3 units.
Yeah, keep on sending links all across the place. Get more Ling and Baneling across the map on the ground to make sure that when he gets attacked, he can defend. And guess what? It's actually a matchup here in which when you get Corruptors, unlike against Protoss, they're actually super useful on the air because they can kill those Liberators.
How many Liberators do we have? Exactly 6 at the moment. 11 Marauders, 23 Marines.
Yeah. I think getting like 10 Corruptors here would be sick to deal with those guys and then later go for Broodlords.
I agree. And only 4 bases. Well, to be honest, like only 3, because that 4th base is actually the main orbital that's been flown out. The Liberator will set himself up here, and slightly slow reaction time, getting 3 drones and that base that cannot be mined from. And that's the classic Terran that will try to finish the game. You go towards the main path. You go through the middle, and you try to finish the game. That Ling run by. There's nothing to defend. Single Marauder will not make the difference here. And losing more economy is going to hurt for Hero Marine, even though he has a little bit more army supply at the moment. I'm not liking Hero Marine's position. I think Cyril played an amazing game. He even lost the 30C to those Zerglings, didn't lift it up.
I think he's going to fly the 2nd orbital there, but the fact that there is no bunker means that every time those Lings go there, they can do more damage. The +3 attack upgrade finally on the way, but it's just so late here in this game. For Hero Marine, who still has a massive army supply, is still ahead in that.
Yeah, but slightly worse in terms of upgrades and in terms of quality. Like Ultralists with full upgrades, Zerglings with the the Adrenaline Glands. Look at how fast those SCVs go down, even though those are +3 defense SCVs. And as you mentioned, like throwing out those Zerglings, and now the Banelings coming from the south. Woo! Fireworks right there. 11 SCVs remaining for Hero Marine. Like Cyril, when he's in control, and what he achieved with those couple of Ultralists without chitinous plating, without the +3 on the top base, on the 4th base, was nothing short but amazing.
Hero Marine was having a perfect game early on. He's now down to 9 SCVs. Things have been going wrong for him. He needs to commit everything he has to this attack here to try and finish the game. A lot of Widow Mines and Liberators are clearing out the ground, but the Corruptors are going to start on dealing with everything that's in the air. That's those Medivacs and those Liberators as well.
Yeah, he needs to get those Ultralists back into the fight, because I know those Liberators are doing well, but that Baneling connection was all that he needed. The bio needs to go back, which means the Liberators are falling, and now hungry Ultras are coming in, and we'll get a 7th game here today for the start of 2017 with Nation Wars 4, 4-3. GG. Amazing. Seriously, Cyril played this game. Like, what Hero Marine did was almost perfect play in the early to mid game, playing super cautious, not losing any units, but still getting some economy, getting queens. Like that was sick. That was sick from Cyril.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought he was gonna die at the top when he had like the 3 ultras. I was like,
he was supposed to
what
die.
are these guys gonna do? There is a whole army there fighting them, and then I got reminded that I play Protoss because these ultras they chew down everything. That whole bioforce at the top, and somehow Cyril held, and then from there, like I say, like no drone that died in that position.
That's a fight that I actually went super well for Cyril, considering the
He didn't
positioning.
pick up, right? That was the big mistake.
What's that? Sorry.
He didn't pick up the bio, right?
He should have picked up the bio in the top left. I agree with you, but I love the pre-spread. I love the mine positioning. I think everything was going well. But look at this fight. Like those ultralists getting pulled out when they are. Like look at this red ultralist. We'll go back to the side. Like everything that he did during this fight was just perfect. And then relentless aggression. Going for SCVs and mules everywhere, and just cutting the amount of money that Hero Marine could have, and then at some point you just you don't have any breath left. You're building Marines and Marauders against fully upgraded Ultralisk and Corruptors. This is not going to go well for you.
And many times I look at those Zergling run by these counter-attacks from Cyril, and I thought there were too many of them, but guess what? Never did he actually get counter-attacked, and it came into play where he had too few units at home, so I guess they were the right amount in the end, especially considering the amount of economic damage that it did. So who is it going to be? Showtime or Hero Marine or
TLO?
TLO to be revived. Probably not TLO, I would say.
TLO with the sickest build of
No.
in ZVZ? No, not
Showtime
going to happen.
or Hero Marine, and I'm guessing most likely Showtime is going to be coming out here for Germany.
I will say the boring guess, like you. Showtime. PVZ. Best of 3 was in the best of 7. Give it to us.
Showtime. All right.
That's
the final round.
Well, that's funny because we mentioned how many games just went into like that player is just carrying his team, that player is carrying his team. But the way every single game went, like even that ZVT, okay, Hero Marine is not going to take a game today in the Germany versus Finland, but he did play an amazing game and put like Cyril in a position that made him like feel threatened. And I think that's a great best of 7 to start of the day. We asked for it. Thai curry. While
that looks delicious. Oh my god! But where's the stream, though? You need to show the stream.
yeah. This is just a picture of your kitchen. No, I guess.
Well,
no, okay.
I guess he wasn't gonna carry his TV and put it in a corner of his stove, like.
Probably watching it on his phone, but also needs his phone to take a picture and put it on Twitter.
Ah, okay.
See, I got you.
Usually you'd want to show the stream, though. Is all I'm saying. But I guess like don't burn the whole kitchen trying to put the TV.
No, I'm okay with this. I'm okay. That was a great picture, and I really want to, have some of that Thai curry. You were preparing the Red Viper. What does it say?
I love watching Nation Wars. It's great. All these countries participate to get a chance to lose to Marine Lord in the finals.
I think he wrote to innovation. But that's okay. That's the French way of seeing innovation. That's how French
I translated
innovation.
that Kyle style.
Yeah.
Because I am Marine Lord.
Because I am Marine Lord. Yeah, obviously Korea, France, Poland, all those nations will be playing. Even the Netherlands later tonight will try to take out Taiwan, and it's going to be super hard, even though Roddy will be here to cheer for them on the casting desk. He will join us a little bit later during the night.
He's going to leave the club for once and cast some Starcraft for his country.
We actually should send him a text right now to tell him to go back, because this is the last game of Deutschland versus Finland, Germany versus Finland, and it's going to be happening on Newkirk Precinct. Really old school map once again. PVZ to finish off the day. And in the bottom left for Germany is the Protoss God, Showtime. Recently getting picked up by Armed.
And his opponents, he finally brought it back to the last game. He's playing very impressive and he's gained some momentum. It's of course Cyril doing Finland proud once again.
Yeah.
I'm sure they wouldn't mind another deep run here in the tournament, making top 4 last season, which to be honest, like in the Starcraft world, if you have to pick a top 3 or 4 countries, I don't think too many people will often pick Finland.
I agree.
Finland definitely is a very good country, but
no,
they've been playing extra well into some of these nation wars.
I do
in particular
agree.
last season.
There's probably something just connected. Oh, look at the reaction time once again from Showtime. Oh, you want to take a third? Nah, let me come with you. I probably have something to say against it. Is it going to be in time? Yes. Easy. That's nice because Showtime...
999.
999. You're not going to plan down that hatchery. Yeah, that probe. Just, If he reacts probably half a second or even less than that a little bit later, he will never get that block on that hatchery. So kudos to Showtime once again, showing us that he has what it takes.
Where's the German flag though for Showtime?
I think something with the mods, the observer mod, actually didn't work properly because he's got a purple flag, which is not Germany's flag. In case you're wondering,
It's not purple, that's blue.
you should get your eyes checked out. I think this is not
Was
Twitch
the dress
purple.
blue and gold? Or
I think it was. I saw it's white and gold.
yeah,
which is
there were
not the
there
way.
were two photos that that whole thing was like super silly.
It was a hoax. Is that what you're saying? All right.
It was
so,
as fabricated as the landing of the moon. Caparino.
Caparino, Kappa HD, Stargates once again.
Yeah, Cyril's
what you
scouting of
make
these
of it?
Stargates every time is on point. Like he literally knows exactly where he's gonna go down pretty much. He makes sure it's there, knows the exact timing on that Oracle. He can even make sure what unit it is. And then he gets the spores on time.
Yeah, he knows.
Actually, the first game they weren't on time, but he still defended well and then lost the game. Like, go figure. Like,
Even
how
got
does
the
that even
Oracle.
work?
Second time got a little bit of damage done, but still lost the game in the end, or won the game in the end. So what do you make of Showtime going like consistently for that Stargate play? He showed it once. He showed against Zugalian. He showed the double, the quadruple DT drop with the Archon follow-up.
Yeah.
But against Cyril, he's not taking any of this Stargate each time.
I think it depends on maps as well, but he's
Yeah.
just solid all around. So, like just like the Dark Templar opener with the drop. The fact that he's playing in Cyril is very solid if you're gonna go for attacks and stuff. So if you can keep an eye on him with an Oracle, force Spore Leon, and kind of keep his drone count low, you're gonna do well. But actually, that was
sloppy.
terrible piloting here.
Yeah. This wasn't on Trap's level.
But Cyril was not ready for these two adepts actually.
Yeah.
Like this forces an extractor in its base. Maybe could kill some drones.
Zerglings are actually going to be coming in here. Can he get the cancel on the extractor on time, or will he have to keep it building? Will he remember, actually? No, he will. Cyril, really nice, but that adept, just seeing that he has the
cancel the
opportunity
transfer.
to get another drone, will take it. Nice micro, Spore Crawler in time. Double Oracle coming in. But that first Oracle not getting any damage done, while taking a lot of damage, like real HP damage, that was kind of sloppy. And Forge getting scouted instantly. He's been really good with slow overloads. I feel like what Cyril has been doing is really, really, really sick.
And then the Void Ray by Showtime behind is plus a Robo. So I guess he's not going to be going for some sort of like mass air or something. Robo on the third, by the way. This is what we are kind of used of from Showtime. Remember that meta where you would just take the third base, then drop down double Robo, go for double Immortal production.
Yeah.
Nowadays, because you very often have to face these Zergling, Baneling armies, you can't really go for double Immortal production, otherwise it might go very bad for you against the Mass Zergling Bane. And in this case, going for the one is at least safe. You can produce Immortals out of the one, get a Prism, get some Observer. And the Twilight Council behind this. Will it be for Resonating Glaives or Charge? Very rarely it's for Blink nowadays, but sometimes, yeah, it's going to be Charge.
Going back to your comment on mass air, I think like just in general the map is maybe a little bit too hard to defend to like massive pushes from Hydralisk, for instance, on the third base. This is so wide open. You can see it on tiny bit different maps where the third base is actually a little bit easier to defend. This year you just only have like that huge pylon in the middle. I would say I don't even know how to explain like how to describe this, but that's the only thing you have defending your third base. The rest could be a huge pile of Hydralisk and Banelings just crushing down your base, so that's the reason we're not seeing that transition towards target play.
Losing an Oracle a little bit sloppily there. I'm surprised that Showtime's not been on point with those.
Yeah.
It can be so useful, like over the course of a longer game, if you drop down Stasis Ward all over the place, use Revelations on that lair to see when it turns into a hive. It's obviously a super good information that you need to have if you can get it. So a little bit surprised that happened, but other than that, Showtime's done a fantastic job of building up his economy. He's actually about even on the walk accounts. Templar Archives on the way, second Robo, so he's just going to be playing with a lot of charge lots, Archons and Immortals, and there is always the question of, is he going to go for a timing? And a lot of the time, Showtime attacks when he needs to, but he still expands at the same time. Very rarely will you see him say, actually, you know what? I'm not going to expand. I'm just going to go for an attack and commit everything I have onto this attack.
This looks exactly like the eco game, like the echo game, sorry. This is exactly the same. The timing on the storm is quite literally the same. Some Baneling drops will actually gonna start raining down about the same timing as before. Zergling drop in the main, Zealot run by towards the third of Cyril. We'll have to evacuate the drones for now, not losing that many, only one probably. Baneling run by at the same time. Those are not +2 Baneling. That would have been so crisp if he had that +2 at the same time, getting probably about 10 probes, but the drop in the main. No mothership core inside.
Oh, and he picks up.
So yeah, just gonna go back like a boss.
Better than a Prism. That's pretty good actually, killing 8 probes there. Like usually Showtime's defense is spot on, but not this time around. And all of a sudden we have a Cyril on 81 drones against 60 probes. That's his comfort zone.
Yeah, great in a really big map. So the late game techs will be flourishing in a little bit. Yes, the infestation pit comes in. Some Mutalisk probably to take care of a potential Prism. +2/+1 in terms of units, in terms of upgrades. Sorry, melee being the focus of our Zerg player to get those +2 Banelings that he definitely needs. Run by with Banelings towards the turn. Drop with the Banelings into the main, and the +2 is not over yet, but no reaction here from the German player, getting a couple of couple of probes here, but not that much to be honest.
Yeah,
Only
3, but he bruised a couple of those. Like if he goes for a follow-up, and I'm sure he will, might be able to get them. That cannon as well is going to be exposed down the line. Oh man, Finland in Nation Wars, I don't know what it is. They have the extra motivation and they play so well every time. And Cyril is really threatening Germany here to face a first loss here in that group, which, I mean, it's Group Germany. They're supposed to be the favorite here.
Yeah, exactly. And Roddy, of course, showing us how much he knows about Starcraft, because he actually predicted a 4-3 for Finland. Will it be the case?
Roddy's gathering on a roll.
Huh?
Prediction and bet-wise, Roddy's on a roll.
Oh yeah, he is.
I don't know what it is.
Even doing while playing poker, from what I can understand, when he was in
Paris
which
actually
before,
never
New
happens
Year's Eve.
usually.
What about
Except when he plays a tournament with esports people.
Mutalisk is gonna come in, received by some Phoenixes and a cannon, so they will have to come back slightly. Slow part of tango between those two. Mutalisk, Phoenixes, they watch each other in the eye, but will not fight in the end. Yes, they will. Not losing that much. Probably will put back with those Mutalisk. And huge pull of Zerglings and Banelings.
Showtime's being very defensive here. He never had any intention of ever attacking. This is the kind of attack that's going to be very dangerous, because he gets in there very fast and Showtime was not ready.
And now blowing up the door. Well, where will he go? He will go for the natural. He's hesitated a little bit, but those Banelings getting the connections that they needed for on the Zealots, but not that much economy gonna go down. Photon overcharge in the main, in the natural. The Zerglings actually are doing super well in the natural. I felt like they would all die at the same time.
Actually, they didn't kill probes.
They didn't kill probes, but
this is, probes is what they're supposed to kill. Only killing 2 probes with this attack. Sure, those Zerglings were expandable, but behind this, Showtime is gonna build up a massive army, and I think counterattack before Broodlords are out, which could be very dangerous.
He's going for
this time there is no Banelings in this, so he's not exposed.
I was getting us
to lose a lot of high Templars immediately when these Zerglings come out.
The force field donut? No, not gonna come in. And those Zerglings might get a couple of probes.
And the wall wasn't remade on the natural.
Oh, and now again, Cyril showing off his APM and his multitasking and being able to deal some damage towards every single base. There's only 1 photon overcharge. Let's see how long he can keep on doing this.
Still only 2 probes died though. Showtime, if he attacks now,
Zerglings coming in again.
We'll be in great shape, I think.
Okay, this is like...
What is it the Matrix?
This is like open doors, like...
Smith is on the way, because I'm getting
what's going on? 6 probes, 7 probes. He needs to close down this wall, he needs to take a lesson or two from the American president that wants to build walls everywhere. Just take some lessons from it. Showtime actually gonna lose that Stargate. Get scouted from everything, and the most annoying thing to me is that he's not achieving anything anywhere else on the map. There's no Prism doing damage.
Yeah.
There's more bases.
And it's gonna continue.
Yeah. of course. You're not
Okay,
going to
there we
close down
go.
that wall. Double prism, for instance. I like this idea, if you can make it work. Zerglings setting themselves up to go for another run by. This time,
Not on my watch.
couple of butchers just waiting for them. And Broodlords are now here. 8
Okay, this is
Broodlords.
gonna get really weird because Showtime is entering the super late game against a Cyril who's been left undisturbed for the most part. He's been on around 80 drones for a very long time. He's doing his run bys and all that. And he's on a very healthy amount of bases here in 5 total. I'm getting very worried for Showtime there.
This is worrying indeed. Like I agree, double Stargate more, double extra Stargate, and the Onion Impulse crystals.
Yeah, this is very good because if there are mutas made, he's gonna have the transition ready. Which
Yeah.
I mean, Zerg on 5 bases, they have basically infinite gas. A muta transition can be very scary if you're not ready. You just automatically lose to it.
It's good for him taking in advance a little bit. Those drones are actually going to get slaughtered, and Zerglings need to come
He's
in.
gonna
and
get the
need to
hatch
come in
actually if he
fists.
targets that.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh no.
No, not on my watch. That was actually quite costly, to be honest.
Yeah, gas-wise. Corruptors now on the way though to replace that. Dark Shrine's gonna be made now.
Once
And a
again.
Prism in the main.
Double pronged attack. Prism in the main and double pronged attack. Where is he gonna go? That Baneling drop. Hydralisk then will fall. This reaction time once again, just amazing. And losing nothing but Prism at the same time on the third base.
And more Banelings were used though.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the Banelings of Cyril have been used now defensively to snipe a bunch of Zealots. Gets the Robo.
Both Robos. 3-3 Zerglings with Adrenal glands.
Oh, these Arkansas traps?
Not something to mess with because they look at the amount of damage that they deal. Like those Zealots, they evaporated. Prism will be able to whop in 2 Zealots, but will die.
So he wants that pull, man.
Actually
Where's
building
that
one
bull?
more. Cyril anticipates it and
He could
builds
actually
another pool.
transfuse. I think that was the Queen there that still did.
Okay, those are 3 units. He's freeing up some supply.
Are we
Showtime
actually
that
gonna
is.
go into the madness of mass Protoss area to try and defend against this?
They need to run, and they need to run fast. That's 3 probes, that's 6 probes, that's 8 probes, and once again, no economy, no bank, no real mineral bank from Showtime. He's got 2k gas, but not that much in terms of minerals.
I mean, Archons, right? They are trash against this.
Oh, yeah.
Warlords.
And those run-bys. Cyril is relentless. I love it. This is great. Getting some more probes, getting some cannons, getting some pylons that you will have to fill up again. But that counter-attack is actually dealing some damage. Some drones will fall 10. Lowering up the number towards 62, and he will get dashed this time.
Is that really worth it though? Against the Cyril who's already pretty rich. Just gonna remake the hatchery. I guess he did lose 11 drones, so he kinda has to replace that. That puts him in an awkward position economy-wise. Showtime's remaking a couple probes, but not that many. So I guess maybe just maxes out and gets the best army that he can get and then tries and fights. Cyril though, like I said, I mentioned his late game many times. Actually, that's not the best. You're losing his Phoenixes. I mentioned the late game many times. Cyril, I also think that his control with those huge armies is very, very good, which is rare for a lot of players. And getting these infestors here is obviously going to be very scary because he can land fungal, parasitic bomb. I don't think Blinding Cloud will come into play because he's mostly facing air. But if he starts on landing fungal plus parasitic bomb, it's the Christmas combo here that Showtime's not going to be a big fan of. But Showtime's army is still looking super scary here.
Okay, it might get ugly for the Protoss player if that combo actually comes into play. More Phoenixes getting hallucinated Phoenixes. Okay, he needs to use those storms to keep those Templars alive because he would have lost them. Otherwise, that cost a little bit of mana, but that's better than a dead Templar. The 2 Stargates, the 2 Spires are in play, but is he actually getting some upgrades from them? Yeah, okay, both upgrades are getting researched, +2 air attack and +1 carapace. In terms of upgrade for the Protoss player, only +1 air at the moment and getting towards +2 right now, getting some more Void Rays, and those Void Rays will take a lot of damage from the fungal and parasitic bomb that you mentioned, because I guess Tempest don't mind that much. They've got way more HP, but still annoying. And getting that Oracle is actually a really great pickup. Getting that hook shot on and he needs to be worried. Can we take a look at the hatchery that he was getting some mana? He's gonna lose the hatch. LOL! He killed his own hatchery.
He denied.
Oh no, he denied his own burrow. LOL! So he gets the hatchery and loses a lot of income out of this, but also loses the burrow, which come into play because of infestors.
That's super sick, because if he goes forward and doesn't realize it and tries to burrow the last second, he's going to be like, what the hell? But he should realize it, because usually you'd want to have these infestors burrowed. Remember, one of the recent changes to infestors is that they can cast spells when they are burrowed. That includes fungal, which actually is pretty sick if you think about it, especially when your opponents are going to be lacking detection potentially.
And he's not starting burrow again. So losing the burrow, losing the hatchery, losing the income, I think it just didn't
Some
realize.
players are not very used to it because it's still kind of new, right? So
Yeah.
they kind of think of like the old way of where you will bring the infestors behind your army, try to land the funnels from afar. One by okay, finally starts it.
Okay.
So he realizes. Lots of lava saved up, by the way, for a remax of Cyril, who could make 30 mutas, mate. How about that?
Oh, remember, he has Phoenix's range, showtime that is, and he's got quadruple targets. So it depends on how late he scouts the transition.
I bet when 4 Phoenixes see 30 mutas get on top of them and kill the Stargates, we'd be happy to have the 4 Phoenixes, right?
All right, once again, a run by coming in from Cyril, showing us like, the harder stages of PvZ. We talked about Zugelion being super passive. This time Cyril shows us how much stuff you can do with those late game Zerglings with +3/+3 upgrades. Gateways getting unpowered, getting cannons out.
These links are making me sick, and I'm only watching the game.
Yeah.
They keep on coming in.
I think Showtime is getting... Oh, the Banelings towards the 4th. Oh! Once again, nice reaction time, but still losing 8 probes.
Yeah, that's worth it, because Cyril is so rich. And Showtime, every time, he kind of has to make the decision of does he remake probe and up to how many does he get. It also weakens his bank a lot, right?
Yeah, it is. He has to rebuild those probes. He loses some income. He has to set up some pylons, cannons.
A little bit. Yeah. Plasma
yeah.
Shield just restarted finally.
And Baneling's coming in once again, but getting scouted by the pylon, I guess. Yeah. Big Daddy Archon is here. Like, no, don't touch my probes again.
You shall not pass.
But at the same time, like, this is going to be an AR army with +3 attack and +2 defense. Those spires, I like the positioning of those spires, like not as vulnerable, I guess, than in the main. It's harder to reach that base with Prism. And some drops.
Oh, this is sick. I love this.
So what is it, like 11 Banelings and a couple of Zerglings?
Yeah, those
this
are super
destroy.
expandable. And if you can replace them with better units, like more Broodlords or something, it would be ideal. Well, actually, in this case, not Broodlords, but Corruptors, I guess, to deal with this army.
And this base and those Stargates will get destroyed if he doesn't realize instantly that this attack is coming in. That lone Archon is not going to do well. Those were not Banelings, but actually Hydralisk will take out that Mothership Core.
Whoa.
But
Cyril's playing some Terran in his spare time. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, the pickup.
That was a sick pickup. Gets out of there, snipes some probes. He's probably going to re-pick up and drop in the main.
Actually, the reaction from Showtime was really, really crisp. Like, Photon Overcharge instantly, not losing, because all the Stargates are in the main. And if you lose this, then suddenly that transition about what we talked, like probably 40 Mulalisk against those Phoenixes, while you don't have any Stargates, mate. You can't build them. And this would be hard. That Templar, gonna go down, 200 energy Templar, just down. That Nexus getting killed. Cyril, my god! Just stop that, man!
Just make 20 cannons per base, so I guess you don't have the minerals.
LOL, even getting the Archon! Okay.
them.
Cyril's Zerglings are at the same time disgusting or perfect. He's gonna get another Templar! Dude, Cyril is just playing too well.
Oh, and he gets another, that last pit.
So, there's two things coming in. Cyril is a god, and Roddy will probably be right on his first prediction.
I mean, that army, he's going to have to deal with it eventually, so I guess building up more economy makes sense. Ultralis Cavern now on the way.
Yeah,
Cyril's work account being lowered a little bit as well, like from some of the buildings he made, I guess it's pretty nice. Actually, yeah, he lost a bunch of supply there. Immortals being thrown away. This is actually like so funny. It feels like the matchup you should never take, Immortals against Lynx.
Yeah.
He doesn't really care.
on creep with no.
I would have liked to see a Prism actually. If he dropped those across the map, he would have managed to maybe do some more damage than now just stepping on creep and losing it.
It means investing a little bit more money, which is also quite annoying. But I do feel what you mean, because those immortals.
200 minerals, bro. Don't be so cheap.
Yeah. Sorry.
Alright, another funny matchup. Zealots against Queens this time.
But what about the matchup of 1,000,000 Vipers with full energy, Corruptors, Broodlords against 9 Tempests, 6 Void Rays?
Yeah, actually 5 Vipers and 5 Infestors can do so much against this Protoss army. There is 2 Observers down on the map, which better be with the army when the showdown happened, because you want to see those Infestors, maybe land some feedback on them. Whoever attacks here feels like he's going to be at disadvantage. That's why neither player is attacking right now and being very patient. You know, they're not doing that because they don't want to play Starcraft. They're just going to want to camp. No. It's just the right move for both of them. Cyril, though, overextending here, I think, a little bit.
He's going to get the Nexus
cancel on that. Like, he's losing a lot of links. So I guess those are still pretty expendable.
Well, he's about to hit 10k minerals and 6k gas. And the only thing that I'm a little bit, I would say, critical of is Cyril not attacking at the moment, is not using his huge bank to his advantage. He's actually letting Showtime getting back on that train.
Yeah.
Well,
But
taking out that Nexus
that's
was
the thing.
nice.
Like I said, like if he attacks into the Protoss off creep without the spores, then it wouldn't be good. So that's why he's going to bring those spores, edge forward, try and shoot from afar with some of these Broodlings onto these cannons.
Great
and make
revelation.
sure that, well, actually, those Infestors being reveled here is a pretty big deal.
Okay, and there's also, if he triggers the mine, if he triggers the stasis, that was close. Okay,
Yeah,
the
this is what
Broodlings actually
Showtime was
triggered.
waiting for Cyril to finally attack. He's trying to snipe units from afar. They are ready to land the good snipes.
Oh, the instant feedback and 3 Infestors out of the
Fishing for
5
the abduct, is he?
actually dying. Huh?
I think Cyril's fishing for the abduct here on that mothership.
Oh,
He's
he
gonna
gets a
pull back. He's gonna
fungal!
recall.
He gets a massive fungal, and here it is! The combo, he needs to recall, he will go for it, and the parasitic bomb will stay in place.
And recall
but that was
actually
the combo.
spreads out the units, so that's gonna help him.
Yeah, but he's gonna get beat on. That Nexus will die instantly. The Infestor, remaining Infestor, actually still alive. Will stay in place. He needs some more energy on his Vipers, and he needs to just to actually
That was cost
reproduce
effective for Showtime though. Like sure he lost his base, but he can retake that. He didn't lose that much probes on minerals. He preserved his army count. Now Cyril lost a lot of hit points on a lot of these Corruptors, so it's funny how this is turning into a full air army for Showtime, where those Broodlords are kind of useless because they don't attack air, obviously, and then he just supports that with the mothership, which is very important, and the High Templars, and those Void Rays, by the way. There, I mean, if you don't land a bunch of fungal and parasitic bomb on these guys, they're gonna teach you a little respect.
Alright, the Templar trying to defend that base on his own. He's actually doing it for the moment, not dying, but will lose the Nexus in the end, and he needs that income in terms of minerals, because if he has to reproduce his units, Showtime with only 1k5 in the bank in terms of minerals will have a tough time. Zerglings for the run by, some Zerglings getting burrowed. Cyril is everywhere at the same time, getting scouted, but Showtime doesn't pay attention, so will not take out.
What was the
Zerglings.
resources lost? But it's kind of like relevant here, I guess, because both players split the map. And I think Showtime's game plan right now is just to keep on getting cost-effective trades where he's going to have more resources at the end of the game. So as much as Cyril has a sick bank right now, he hasn't been able to get, for the most part, cost-effective trades. So eventually, as long as Showtime is able to mine out his side of the map, and then he has more army or economy left over, he should be able to win this game. This is just, he's just playing the long term right now, the 30+ minutes game.
Showtime.
Where he's just so patient.
Showtime has been practicing super hard his minimap awareness. This is so crazy. Like
Yeah.
right there, Kevin showed us the vision of Showtime, and you've seen like in half a second when something appeared on his minimap, he was able to move his
He must
his
have a
props
trick.
around.
Like he's always looking at the minimap or something.
Yeah, you remember during the tournament when they had like a camera with a heat map for the eyes, and I remember like watching Stefano's one, for instance, and he was like super heated towards the minimap, obviously looking at it all the time. And this series, this best of 7 Showtime, showing us like how it's done, like never losing that many probes to any random run by. Like he needed to be attacked at 3 places at the same time to actually get some damage done. Zerglings will take out those cannons.
Oh man, these links.
3-3 the Zerglings with the needle
Absolute
guns.
nightmare.
Those probably are like the best units in the game in those really long macro games with a lot of spread out bases. Getting some free Templars. What about
at this point? I think Showtime's waiting for Cyril to attack into him, and Cyril's waiting for Showtime to be out of position so that he can punish more and more with links, and maybe eventually, you know, catch a huge chunk of the army of Showtime in a corner, fungal it, use Parasitic Bomb. But again, there is always going to be that recall that can save the units of Showtime. Remember, when you recall, your units spread out all over the place. They are not clumped up anymore, so that really negates the use of fungal plus Parasitic Bomb. But Abduct works on this. And actually, even if he was, say, to go, for example, if he was to somehow capture that Mothership Core from his opponent, even for a moment, this could be a huge move for Cyril. But usually Abduct is what you would go for. I don't think he has Neural Parasite, though.
No, he didn't research it. No, he does not have it. But
he didn't make it. That could have been sick, but I mean, remember, there are observers. I think it was 2 of them. So there is detection available. It's 4 of them now as well.
There's almost no mineral left for Cyril to be mining in.
He's just leaving the Mothership there.
The Mothership is a
Which
little
means
bit...
no recall.
Is attacked too late to the party. What's going on in the middle? Some Abducts coming in, some Tempest getting destroyed. Corruptor is a little bit... Templar is a little bit late to the party. No Storms, no feedback, a dead Nexus to the bottom, and as you mentioned, that Mothership being in the wrong place at the wrong moment.
Why isn't Showtime rewarding natural? Okay.
He's trying to make a point.
Yeah, every time.
Like, no.
What's that point? I'm fast enough to warp in units. He's just... I mean, I guess he's getting rid of the links every time, but it feels like they're doing some damage here and there when they shouldn't be. And more Void Rays now being made. I'm surprised, actually, at how Cyril has been able to keep Showtime's economy this low, but not low enough that Showtime is not maxed out and has doesn't have the bank to not remax, or to remax somehow. Like, he's still mining enough. 41 probes to 61 drones means that his maxed out army as well is going to be scarier.
Okay, some Zerglings actually chilling a little bit to the right. Now gonna go to the attack. Those are free cannons, but those Zerglings are starting to be a little bit costly, as we mentioned. Even though he has a 10k bank, you don't want to throw your minerals everywhere, because as you can see, 47 worker on this base.
Cyril needs to throw away drones now for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, he's got just a couple mineral patches left to mine from on that base, and he was way oversaturated there. So I think he's gonna do that and start working on his maxed out army. And like I said, Showtime still has a lot of minerals and gas left to mine on his side of the map. I wonder if he's going to make extra targets soon. Like, he's finally to the point here where he's maxed out and he's starting... he's mining quite a bit right now. So he's going to start on building a serious bank. So if he went up to even, like, say, like 6 to 8 targets...
Yeah.
No, Parasite starts!
Oh, damn! Oh! Where does it go? The Observer is here! 4 feedbacks, and the fungal comes into play a little bit too late. He needed the Zerglings to get the connection, but gets all the Templars. So I guess a resetted count on both sides, maybe a little bit better for Cyril in the end. Getting 6 Templars for 4 Infestors. But
how many gases is still mining from? I don't think it's that many left. Like, especially in comparison to what Showtime has. So it's these 2.
Those are empty. Those are empty.
Empty, yeah. So it's only 2 left. So the gas that Cyril has left is basically all he's going to have left in this game to make something happen with. Now he lost some very important Infestors, which he's now having to replace. Finally getting Pathogen Clans as well, by the way. So I guess he's got 8k gas around left. A little bit more, maybe 8k 5.
It's interesting that he goes for Pathogen Clans, to be honest, but just wait a little bit, because those Zerglings and Banelings, they will get the connection they need. They overrun those Archons and go for the Nexus instantly. Zerglings 3-3 attack. Just get out this Nexus out of my way.
It's nice, but it's more gas being traded for minerals. He killed what? Probes, cannons, and a Nexus. That's all minerals. I don't think Showtime cares. Like, the gas war is what really matters more there. And then eventually, with the big battle that should be taking place.
If the trade happens now, there's also a huge problem for Showtime, is that he has no mineral left. Like right now, he has mineral left on the map, but he doesn't have them on the map, and he needs to mine from them. which makes that move from Cyril maybe a little bit less questionable. We'll see. Those Zealots will not get the trade they need. Those Zerglings come in instantly to defend that army properly. And once again, you mentioned it, fishing for abducts. Right there, probably wants the mothership. Nice fungal from underground. Both Templars getting locked in place. We'll probably take them out with this one. 2 Templars for free.
Yeah, Showtime is being very patient here. These cannons are tanking at the front, but he's making sure that his army is never too clumped up at the front that some huge fungal would land, in which case he might be forced to recall elsewhere and then his base would die super fast. Those links are going to deal very well though with those cannons at the top. He needs to get some more units there to help him defend against this. Look, he just takes 4 to 5 Tempests, sends them at the front and tries and deal with his Broodlords, but Cyril is still using these links.
Oh, trying to recall. We'll recall on top of the Nexus and we'll save it during this. Because of the cloaking ability, those Zerglings are totally dead. Probably won't get that much going on for them. Well, gonna get the run by once again because, as we mentioned, the wall has never been rebuilt. That's a really, really lost Archon that doesn't know what to do with itself in the top left. Zerglings getting burrowed means that you have to spend APM to get that Observer going. Like, everything that Cyril does.
He's remaking Broodlords.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, to be honest. There's nothing.
I guess
767 Zerglings.
This is huge though. Landing these abducts.
Showtime is broke.
Oracles.
Todd, Showtime is broke as a joke. He doesn't mind anything anywhere. The resources lost tab has been super close now, ever since those trades from Zero.
Yeah. But he's got more minerals left though.
That's such a tense game. 23 Corruptors against 12 Void Rays in a proper fight. Like if they actually fight each other and nobody actually micros or anything, those Corruptors will get blown out. But you need to take into account Fungal. You need to take into account those parasitic bombs.
Yeah, Cyril
and the
remade Broodlords basically to shoot Broodlings on the ground. And in the meantime, come in for the abducts, snipe the air units one by one. Because when you have this many Corruptor, as long as you can isolate 1 or 2 air units from the Protoss, they're gonna die super fast. So in a head-on fight, Protoss wins easy. But that's why Cyril's gonna try to circumvent that completely. And land the abducts, snipe air units, pull back, rinse and repeat. Keep on doing the same thing and chip away at this Protoss army up until the point it's gone.
He's doing this so well. Like those Zerglings now getting unburrowed, some pylons getting destroyed. A lonely Zealot is gonna try to take care of all the Zerglings. It's gonna be tough. Empowering that Stargates in the bottom, not getting another Oracral.
He has a Dark Shrine, but he hasn't used it against these links.
Yeah, he should have.
Like 1 DT and chase these guys.
Can we take a look at the buildings lost? I think it's Shift K. Lost 3 Robo, 2 Stargates, 52 cannons, 23 pylons.
Oh! Recall!
Insta recall! No!
Oh, he still loses it! Wow!
Oh!
It took 35 minutes, but there it is!
It's down!
And for Showtime to remake this, it would be very costly. You know, you mentioned that he wasn't super rich now anymore. Like that, I mean, he just moved in there and sniped units kind of for free here a second ago, so totally worth it for Cyril. And like I said, he's gonna keep on doing this.
In the middle, 2 Templars in the middle, maybe gonna go for the feedbacks.
Oh, the Hazuops feedbacks, man. They snipe those units with a lot of energy. Of course, I'm referring to the German Protoss legend, who was one of the absolute best players in Europe, maybe in the world, with High Templars and feedback. In my opinion, rarely ever missed one. He was so fast with them.
Yeah.
And Showtime.
Actually, almost broke a keyboard, losing all my ghosts to two freaking Templars. Yeah,
to Hazuops?
Yeah, in the Gamers Assembly, like 4 years ago or something. It was awful. Cannons everywhere, Templars, I couldn't do anything.
Sounds
it was
like
so
Hazuops.
sick. Alright, 2 Templars gonna go for the feedbacks. Once again, he's got the revelation, he knows about those infestors. But once again, Showtime is making
he's trying to land a fungal.
Tiny bang for himself. Nice fungal! And he can go for it once again in his parasitic bomb and the recall. We tend to forget, but you know, the normal mothership core does it too.
Yeah, can recall as well.
Yeah. It's not as
fancy.
fancy.
He does not cloak units, but it's still actually like he doesn't need to get a cloak and mothership, right?
I don't
Just
think
keep
he
it like
needs.
that.
I don't think he does.
Get more Tempests. You still have the recall available, and also it's harder to click on it because it's smaller.
Yeah.
Mind games.
Mind games, baby. 845 Zerglings died during this game. 16 Templars, 102 probes. This has been a slugfest here. 48,000 apiece in terms of
if a Starcraft movie ever was made, it should be taken from this game. It's basically a non-stop fight, like for 37 minutes.
This is such a sick game. Once again, those Zerglings, relentless. We said that word relentlessly from Cyril, but he's been amazing with this. And those 10 Archons, I like what they can achieve in terms of, oh my god. Look at those drones.
Yeah,
he has
no time to throw those away.
Yeah, he has no income left, right? Like, not at all.
That's actually 61 supply in drones that he should get rid of and then replace with something else. Just go for the ultimate army. But like we said, Showtime is still mining.
And I believe...
Dude, these Void Rays, oh my god, there's so many.
11 Void Rays.
I guess
Open doors.
The fungal is the scariest thing, with the next best thing being the parasitic bomb here for the Zerg army, whereas on the other side, I guess it's a lot about the spellcasters. Like the High Templar can put an end to it, but it's going to be very hard. I think Cyril's going to wait until he has a good position, obviously, to take a fight, which so far Showtime hasn't completely allowed, but a lot of his units got caught eventually.
Cyril is, like, with those Zerglings run by, like, he's so good with it. Like, getting so many key buildings, burrowing some of them, trying to escape with others. Like,
I mean,
taking
even sniping the oracles every time, forcing new ones is very important.
Yeah, oracles are not cheap when you're in a game like this. Even the units lost tab is actually bugging out a little bit. There's too many units that died this game. 895 Zerglings. First attack towards the base with those Broodlords. Those infestors have not been revealed, and that changes a lot from Showtime's standpoint.
That's
he doesn't know where the fungals can come
forward.
from.
I think he wants to fight as well here, Cyril. Being maxed out and having a bank behind his army supply is less than his opponent's. If he can force a recall, that base dies though behind this, because you can't recall on that base, I think.
Oh yeah, no, that's not a
can
good
you?
idea. Okay, nice feedbacks coming in from those Templars on the top side, getting some storms. He's seen it without any vision, but those fungals were key. Corruptors coming in, the mothership getting abducted but not dying, and that's not a good fight at all. From Cyril, losing a lot of units. Those Void Rays still in place. Mothership will die. Templars also. Nice fungal gonna come. He needs to pull back.
Are there observers there? There's one left, and I don't think he was with his army. Oh, he was elsewhere, so he wasn't being able to see that here. And all of a sudden, Cyril lost a lot of supply there. He lost overlords as well. He cannot actually remax up to 200 right now.
What's the production like? 12 Corruptors?
Oh, you can get these Templars actually. Like these are what make the army of Zerg not able to engage into the Protoss here, because if they get stormed, these Corruptors will die instantly. Or to be honest, even without it, it's still very scary. There's a lot of Archons on the ground.
What a game. 40-minute mark right now. 14 minutes and 20 seconds.
He can't even remax.
Yeah, Cyril doesn't have the money for it. That last attack, he lost so much.
Like I said, Showtime stayed patient. Even though like these links, they did a lot the whole game, eventually they come into play because he's been losing a lot of mineral through it, and now he cannot even remax it. Cyril finally lost patience, went for a big fight.
And it didn't go too
This
well.
is what Showtime had been waiting for, and now we've got a 122 army supply for the Zerg against 150 for Protoss, and this army is looking mean as ever.
Okay, he's got more Corruptors than last time, but a lot of them are actually already bruised.
Okay. The Observer.
He's gonna try some abducts. Is he gonna abduct the Observer? Getting the the Tempest are actually a little bit alone here. That Storm actually whiffed totally. Those two Tempests are done.
There's
for
no
free.
detection. If infestors come in, they can fungal the whole thing.
One Templar falls down with 3 attacks from those Broodlords. Infestors are not scouted. He lets him come in. He goes for the baits. He's got fungals available, but not gonna go for them. What's on the left side?
Cyril doesn't know that there is no detection there. He's gonna get the Oracle actually. This is huge. This was the other detection tool here of Showtime, who's
so
pretty broke himself.
So close. Both players super broke. Cyril having a lot of gas in the bank.
There is zero
the drones,
detection.
just pull them.
There is zero detection. If he just chains fungal here, he could kill. I mean, if he kills all of the Void Rays here.
Oh, the Templars, they need to move. They are in range of the Broodlord. One Templar will go down. Second Templar will go down. No, he will save it in the end. Broodlords, they need to fight one time. Fungal, massive on the Void Ray. He needs to connect it with some parasitic bomb, but not being able to with the Templars defending. Feedback not coming in. Most of it are storms. And those Fungals, they're not dealing enough damage. Cyril, what a game.
I think he realized that there was no detection there. Moves in there, but not enough fungals to kill all of these Void Rays. And I think Showtime's doing it right now. He's chasing this army. Nice blitz here with his parasitic bombs.
The patience from Showtime is probably about to pay. Those last Void Rays will get taken down, but look at the splash damage from those Archons. And Cyril about to reverse Soul Kill this team of Germany, but not gonna be able to. 95 supply against 111, 95 army supply. Those drones, they gotta go for the counter-attack. GG! Showtime makes it happen for Germany, but that was such a sick game.
Oh.
Yeah, you're a little bit too tall, mate. I can stay, you know, like this. He cannot. What a game.
Showtime says, you want to play some late game? Let's do it, bro.
I can't believe it.
And actually, I mean, Cyril played very well the whole game. It's just that he didn't get rid of his drones. There was so many of them that were doing nothing that he could have replaced with army, maybe done a little bit less zergling run-bys at the end. What a sick game we saw here between these two.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Like, Corruptors would have been in a higher number if he did throw those drones away. Like, you kill 40 of them, you get 20 more Corruptors in this army, and when he actually takes the
like
fight...
10 infestors and there was no detection as well. He could have landed the consistent fungals to kill everything. Yeah, that was a big play actually there. So much gas.
Getting the mothership this time in one shot of those Corruptors gets it out. Nice fungal once again. Getting nice recall with the mothership core. There's been too much in this game to actually go for instant replays. We could have shown like 45 battles in this one.
Yeah.
But just in general, amazing patience from both players, and actually called like probably around the 25th minute mark, I think, that Cyril was about to win, and that Rotterdam would look super smart, but Showtime with the patience. Now he looks super dumb. You predicted the exact opposite. No, that was still a really, really good bet from Roddy, but Showtime having the patience and not like tilting. We can use that term, right? Like he could have tilted so hard with all those run-bys, and even like leaving that wall open kind of told us that
actually
maybe he was losing it a little bit.
Right? He was never going to attack. Let's be honest. Yeah.
No, but he did it. But
the question here is, if Cyril hadn't attacked, what would have happened?
We would still be casting this game. Probably.
A cheeky 5k versus mana record broken. No, really, I think that Cyril, the biggest mistake here for sure was not getting rid of these drones at the end and trying to replace them with more army, in particular infestors. Like these guys were the one that I think could have won in this game if he landed a lot of fungal and parasitic bomb from afar, kept on forcing recalls. Eventually, Protoss, maybe would have run out of recalls. And also, like, again, Cyril doesn't see the whole map. There is always that chance that there is not much detection left, in which case you free win, right? Like, you have burrowed infestors killing everything.
Yeah.
And he just had a few of them. Cyril lost patience. Eventually, it happened. He attacked at the top. Maybe he felt compelled, like he had to attack. He could even have brought the drones on the ground to tank for a little bit.
Yeah,
like he would have
totally
taken one volley from the Archons to kill them, but that would have been one volley where they wouldn't have been attacking the Broodlings or the ground army.
No, it's a really interesting game, and I really am super, super impressed by how Showtime handled this, because, yeah, he's been attacked relentlessly, but he was like, okay, I know this army can take the game for me if I do really well in that last fight, and that's what he did. And I agree with your statement of infestors would have made something way more easier, considering the balance between minerals and gas that Cyril had. He threw away so many Zerglings that he didn't have that much money, but infestors are really gas intensive. Well, he could have done, we could go through this game 20 times in a row, but that's no point. Germany makes it out, and we'll go for the winners match. We can take a look at the brackets. Germany versus Finland, once again, a 4-3. But this time for Germany with Showtime in a really, really great performance by the German Protoss.
He won his best of 3 against...
That's it.
Against Cyril. That's what happened there. And now we're going to have Netherlands against Taiwan coming up next. I'm salivating, thinking about the potential has against Uthermal.
Oh, this could be great. But that's the thing with has, that it can be either great or either terrible. Like, it looks amazing if he wins. If he does a weird-ass build and then just falls on his head, like...
He would look amazing anyway.
He would look amazing anyways?
Yeah.
Okay, I agree with this. Yeah.
Is that fried rice? I hate you. I'm so hungry, man.
Hey, look at this food. Food is on the table.
My version of Chinese fried rice. Actually, it looks pretty accurate.
Thank
and I used
you
to live
so
in China.
much.
It looks pretty delish.
Delish. Sexy blood. This is how I watch Nation Wars 4. Mon Basillac et foie gras like a queen. Top kick. OG SC2, Nation Wars SC2. Come in. Don't stop sending us your tweets. That's a really cool.
Is that a pickle?
Yeah, no, it's cucumber and peppers and a healthy snack. Or maybe it's filled with
it's beer
like
inside, no?
cheese
or
or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Pretending to get work done whilst watching Nation Wars just isn't letting me go. That's the way you want to do it, man.
He's got some mental strengths because I feel like his work is on the bigger screen, so that's pretty nice.
My Kathleen is not impressed by Nuclear Precinct. That's because she plays Zerg and Cyril lost. And she saw it coming the whole time. She's telling you Master is OP.
I think she wasn't impressed by the beginning of the game, considering the timer. Trying to Optimus from the Team Netherlands, the third player of Team Netherlands, trying to keep the team in check while waiting for our match.
Question, is that Uthermal or Harstem? Probably both of them arguing right now. Send me out, send me out, send me out.
I want to go. I want a 4-0. Who gets to beat Haas? Guys, that's the next game we will be casting. Netherlands versus Taiwan. Show us your tweets and show us who do you think will win that best of 7. Hashtag NLD win or hashtag TWN win. Netherlands and Taiwan. You voted on Twitter, you used the hashtag, and then we see how the audience likes this matchup coming in.
Yeah. Let's do that, and let's keep on checking on those numbers.
Of course.
It's been fun to follow those. The bias is real from everybody, and
wait for the bias of Roddy.
I'm gonna counter it with my bias for Haas.
Okay, I like it. This is gonna be a great series. Obviously, Roddy and Todd will be your casters. For now, we do a really quick break of 4 minutes, and when we come back, this is Netherlands versus Taiwan in Group Germany of the Nation Wars 4. Thank you for tuning in. Don't go anywhere.